All righty. Yeah, there we go. 847-931-1410 is the phone number today. Welcome, everybody. It is our Friday edition of One-on-One. You can tune in and see us right now on our YouTube page. That was my silly willy. I kind of guessed or thought that it was still going to be up on the YouTube page, but that's something that's fun about learning. You guys, everybody knows by now that I'm an open book. What you see is what you get. So if I don't know something, I will God bless Google, or I will shout it out to you, the listeners. We have gotten, Sonar, I don't know if you've gotten wind of this yet, but we have some of the smartest listeners. Anytime I get, and you're young yet, but once you get older, you'll have just one word just wrapping in your head, or Jesus, what is that one book I wanted to see, or what was that one song back from a soundtrack? These guys will have it in 2 seconds flat.
Oh, yeah.
Most often they're probably screaming at their radios as we're trying to patiently figure it out ourselves. But yeah, they will always have the information on it. We were talking right before the break. So again, thank you for sitting in with us today. You, I know, are going to be getting busy to prep out for Out to Lunch, which is going to be coming on 12 to 1. You're going to be out and about. And again, out at this time at Image 360, you're going to be over on Sundown Road in South Elgin. You're
Ben's
in my
over
neck
there
of the
right
woods.
now. Ben's over there right now. He's setting up for the remote. Mark will be over there as well. So Mark will take it over and speak with the ownership over there. They've got a couple demonstrations too. So if you've never learned, didn't know anything about vinyl wrapping, or they've even got a machine out there that you literally run the door through the printer, and it will print the ink directly onto the door.
Man, technology is great. Not only, obviously those cool things with wrapping an automobile, they also do banners, they do digital displays, they do pamphlets, any kind of print that you need, they'll do over at Image 360. And a lot of us are familiar with the name of the business, but it's under new ownership now is the one thing that we're going to be focusing with today's Out to Lunch. Before we get back again to the social media side of the presentation of WRMN, new these days, I also want to mention Out to Lunch for people. I think a lot of people, because Out to Lunch, they think we're just going to go out and eat somewhere. I know yesterday we had a couple people saying, oh, I thought we were eating together, kind of. So, and I could understand that. Out to Lunch is actually really a chance for us to be out there and find out what's happening in the community, and if they've got food, great, we'll eat there. But if they've got something special going on, it's just a matter of commenting and having a live talk show, go through views and things that are happening in the news, but just out at a destination.
Absolutely. And some people did sit down and eat with us.
They did.
We got to sample a lot of different things that are over there at the EPH, the Elgin Public House. It was a fantastic time over there. And the other thing that I say with Out to Lunch is you get to actually take WRMN out to lunch too, with all of the different ways that you can listen to us or
that's
have
a good
us
point.
And everything. Take WRMN out to lunch with you. The other thing I say is, why don't we go Dutch with it? There's so many great restaurants on the radio shopping side. Is you take WRMN with the app, you download the app, you come and listen to us, and you have a gift certificate that maybe it's a $10 gift certificate that you got for $5, $4. Essentially, WRMN picked up that other half of that $10 for you.
There you go.
So take us out to lunch with you. Take WRMN out, and you can come right over here at noon and pick up a gift certificate on your way to a place and take us with you. That's what I like about it.
That's the wonderful thing about having somebody like you come in here and Dean come in here, because what you do is you give it, sometimes fresh eyes on something can give it a different perspective. We're familiar with it. We know that it's a call-in show or a website that people can go and shop and get discounted. But utilizing that in different forms is what makes it just if you really want to look at saving money, and I don't know anybody who does not want to save money.
Oh, you better want to save money,
right?
Especially in this economy. My goodness.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, and you've got a family of what, 5 now, right?
I've got a family of 5. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So you start looking at and seeing some of the families going out there, and you think, okay, when the kids get older, and that you're feeding a table of 5, every dollar counts. That makes all the difference in the world, because that becomes a pretty expensive feat.
Well, you're gonna at the end of the day, even if you start calculating price per meals, right? I mean, you can't get away with almost anywhere with a meal under $10.
No.
So if you can get for me, the five people in my side of the world, if I can get maybe taking out to a reasonable restaurant might charge us like $60, $70. But if I can get a WRMN gift certificate off of that, that alleviates a lot. Because a lot of times what you do is, and we've all been there. We've all been there where we just spent $70 on a meal, and then you go, well, now I got to leave a tip.
Yep.
Now I've got to make sure that these people that help serve me are also being taken care of. Well, that gift certificate essentially helps me make up that side of it.
Right.
So whether you're saving the dollars on the actual meal, saving the dollars on the tip, heck, saving the dollars on the gas to drive over to the place. I mean, we're all now measuring distance in dollars.
Yeah.
I've got to instead of saying I've got to go down the street, well, I've got to drive $3 to go get to this place.
It's changed your whole way of speaking. That's very true. The other thing is with the certificates too, and I want to remind everybody, as Sonar is bringing it and presenting it to the table, do keep in mind that if you are, and again, considering the tip, that'll help you cover the tip. It's not designed to be used to pay for the tip.
Yeah, exactly.
So make note that you do realize that you tip on the full value of the ticket, not just what the difference is after you've used the certificate. So that's always a good point to know as well. And I think you're right, because you want to honor the people that served you and brought you the food. Yeah. And you're right. It's all those different things. You could just, before you would look at a menu, be reasonable, right? And then order it up, and then you get the ticket, and you're kind of always, you're looking at it and...
Yeah, they call,
it's like you got Texas Hold'em going on, and you don't want to show anybody what you got.
What do they call it? The T-Rex hands, where all of a sudden, like everybody's hands come off the table when it goes, and you pull it back. Like, whoa, wait a minute, what's that thing?
Yeah.
Who am I supposed to deal this to? There, but it's one of those things that I really like with the certificates is it helps stretch the dollars you're already going to be spending, and it contributes back to that community. And if it saves you a couple of those dollars, I mean, why not?
Yeah.
It's almost like walking in with your own discount.
Yep.
That's what I really like about it is everybody else has like, okay, well, 25% off here when you come in, or we've got a food special for over there. You get to come in as a VIP with your own certificate.
Nobody else with my name on it.
Yeah, it's got your name on it. It's got your address. It's got your key tag holder, so nobody else can use this thing.
Do you know how many people will say, like, oh, where'd you get that? You know, they'll see it or while you're waiting in line. We did have Miss Wendy was one of them that joined us out there yesterday. She said they had a good meal at Elgin Public House. He had the Reuben and she had the pulled pork. And delicious. It's because of WRMN that they learned and had dined at Elgin Public House, because we've been out there for a couple of shows. We're going to go to the phone lines real quickly. Hello, caller. Can I get your key tag number?
128734.
128734. And what can I do for you today?
Golden Corral.
Golden Corral.
Great choice. Great choice.
And that's over in Bloomington, 734. Let's put this on here real quickly. 128734, you said, right?
Yes.
I'm going to bring it up here. 128734. I know the voice. Is this a Charles, right?
Yes, it is.
All right. So we've got your Golden Corral on there. Golden Corral is a $15 certificate. Now, normally we have these for $9. Today we are doing a 25% off. So you'll be able to get that for $7.75.
Sounds great.
And what else would you like today, Charles?
Beef Villa.
Beef Villa, another great one. Normally that is a $10 value for $6. Today you've got that for $4.50. We can get you one of those.
Real good. And Culver's.
And a Culver's frozen custard. Great sandwiches, especially it's a neat one for the fish fry during the Lenten season. They've got a fantastic light, flaky fish, not a lot of breading on there. That is a $10 certificate. Normally for $6, you'll get that one for $4.50. Anything else for you?
That's it for today.
All right, you've earned your bingo card. Have you been playing bingo with us, Charles?
Yeah, I did last time, and I didn't do too good.
I didn't either. I feel you. But you know what? This is going to be the lucky one. We're at St. Patrick's weekend. Anything that's coming out of our system today is going to bring you luck. So we'll put one of those in your bin. And would you like to pick these up or have it sent out to you?
Pick up.
Pick up it is. And you know our new hours. We're open Monday through Friday from 12 noon until 3 p.m., okay?
That'll be fine. I can get them today, right?
You certainly can. Yep, starting in about 45 minutes.
Thanks a lot, Leah.
All right, take care, my friend.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye now.
That's the great thing about the system, too, is you can actually hear about something on the air, come in, and you can purchase it right there.
Right.
Same minute, same everything. Talk to Matt, and you can purchase it right here as you come in.
You know, this is a matter of, this is originally why one-on-one was kind of designed and kept throughout the years, is because it was designed to talk about what folks could do this weekend. You know, and then it got interviews, and we got more and more involved in that. But the whole point was, listen, you don't know what to do. We've got beautiful sunshiny skies right now, and you want to find out what's happening. We can send you to the library. We can send you out to the ribbon cutting today if you want to go and check out a beautiful new business, especially if you're looking for any kind of print or digital needs. You can do it over at Image 360. But we can send you out to there because of the information. Now, some of that, as you said, it's up to the businesses to be able to get that information to us. We can be searching for all the little pieces of info, and we'll never know it all.
Yes.
You know?
Well,
sometimes
between me and the internet, we know everything.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. It's just a when I need to know it is what gets me in the pickle, right? But learning about it, I'm always open to hearing and learning a little bit more. And like I said, what's happening in the community yesterday, and you probably will understand this. You remind me a lot of my son. Oh, that makes me feel so old. But my son does the same thing that you do, and he's also an economics major. Okay, so he's got that mindset that is very analytical. You know, this has to equal this, has to equal this, right? So we were talking about how yesteryear it used to be that when you were looking for a job or you were going out for employment, and again, you can also, folks, if you have employment needs and you need that, we have wonderful advertising for employment needs out there. So we've got that available if you want to use this platform to be able to propose that. You know, there's a lot of people that listen. But we were looking at it that yesteryear, it was a case of, if you were going to go for a job, you got out of school, you were going to hope to find a full-time job that had benefits, that had 401k, that had you covered, because that was the goal. Yesterday I had the opportunity to speak with somebody from a bank, Yvonne from the bank, and she said it's changed so much. The dynamic of the workforce has changed so much that now you can find a lot of folks are getting more into mental health. I think they even just passed that new thing that there can be so many mental health days that they can have right throughout the year. Yeah. But then instead of looking at it as making sure their health and their insurances and all that are taken care of, they're focusing more on the mental health part of it. They're also focusing on the financial health of it. Yep. And so there's a lot of banks such as that one. There's a lot of banks in there that are going for businesses that are opening and belonging to places like credit unions and things like that. So the employer is taking care of their employees in that fashion. So in talking about this whole big picture of change, we have to be able to adapt and adjust to the new way of doing things.
Absolutely.
And so the faster that we can do it and accept it, the better off you're going to be and more successful. In this case, like I said, just with Charles right there, in one phone call, he was able to say, okay, I'd like this and I can pick it up today. And there you go. I'm good to go. Bingo. Didn't do so good. Hopefully we'll do better this month, right?
Absolutely. And you hit it on there too. This is an employees market.
Yeah.
And it has been for a while, both on Trump's side and also on Biden's side. We've had unemployment under 4%,
right?
Which is amazing for that side. Now, us employers, it's a little bit harder because we don't have there aren't as many employees out there. Everybody can get a job. I think the biggest issue is you really only want one.
Yeah,
I think that's the biggest issue for us. But that's a whole nother discussion we can get into. But it's back to that stretching the dollars, being more efficient for things, and perks. A lot of people from my generation, the only time we ever get a raise is when I quit.
Yeah.
We don't get a raise. We don't get anything. You spend 5 hours or 5 years with a company, and all it is just more work, and they call it, what do they call it now? They call it dry promotions.
Okay.
Where what they'll do is they'll give you the title. They'll say, here's the title. This is the responsibility. Isn't it so great that you got this? And then you turn around and go, whoa, wait a minute.
Right.
Where's the money? Where's the benefits? So So perks for things like that are way to go. So if you are an employer and you want to kind of treat your employees a little bit more, gift certificates are a great thing as well.
Nice. And the one thing about that too, especially if there's a lot of people who don't want to know, there's some people, especially like at the holiday time, people will gift certificates, literally gift them to somebody else, but they don't want them to know what it is they spent. We have plenty of them that are the gift cards, so they don't even see the radio shopping show side of it. So there's certain items on there. And if you ever look on our website, it usually will say that the client provides the certificate for this. You know what I mean? So if people want to identify those items. But another thing is, don't be bashful just to call in during off-air times.
Yeah.
You know, some people say, well, first of all, I don't want to be on the air because I don't want them to know what I'm doing. But some people will say, I don't want to take up all that time, you know, because a lot of folks don't know about the details. They don't know about the business. First of all, we're never bashful about sharing that with you, because I always look at it that somebody else might have the same question. So we're using your ear, bending your ear, but we're actually educating a lot of people at that time. So never be bashful on that. But I also think it's great for folks to call in during our off-air hours to be able to get that, because we can actually manually be their personal shopper and do that off the air and start putting those packages together, especially if you have groups and organizations.
A lady called in just last week, I believe, and she was looking for something for her grandson who's turning 21.
Right.
And we said, okay, well, there's all these things over here. This is what I've got. And she called for the out to lunch side of it. And that's what we do here. We all know what everyone does and how we can send around. I said, I'll tell you what.
Cross-referencing is our king.
Yeah, absolutely. We all wear all the hats every single time. So what we did is we said, look, Matt's over at the Redemption Center. Why don't you just give him a call right now and have an actual conversation? Not a broadcast conversation, just an inquiry of what are some of the things that my 21-year-old grandson might want to do.
Exactly.
And this is what I want to do. And Matt spent some great time with her, made sure that she understood all of the different things that were in there. That's what we're here to do. We're not here to just turn around and say, okay, what do you want? Here you go. Get
we're not
in and
preaching.
out of here. Exactly. We're here to make sure that the product that you want, the money that you're going to spend, is exactly what you want. And I think that goes back to that efficiency of it. Is nobody wants to, because when you buy the gift certificate, you bought the gift certificate for that place. You want to make sure that that's the place that you want to go, that it's
details, any kind of special commitment that you have to have, or restriction that you may have to have.
And we don't just let anybody in here. You do a very good job vetting to make sure that these are quality companies and quality places that you want to spend your money on.
Right.
Because you're making a gamble with us. Now, sure, Culver's or the buffet or anything like that, those are established brands. But the brands that you have brought over onto WRMN, we've vetted and we've made sure that this is a quality product. So when you make that bet of like, okay, I'm going to be spending at least $10
based on what you say.
You know that we've gone through it, especially you with your hard work with it.
And one of those just happens to be, and I know we've got a phone call here, one of those just happens to be Mott's Lounge, which is a new one. Went out to Burlington, so got to sample that. We'll talk about that in just a moment. First, we're going to go back to the phone lines. Hello, caller. I see this is Miss Frances. How you doing today, Frances?
I'm good, Leah. How are you?
Wonderful. It was nice seeing you yesterday, albeit we didn't get to. Now's the time we need to have our lunch, girl. Now's the time we need to go out to lunch.
You've been putting me off forever, but yes.
Not putting you off. Now it's to the time. So now, this is the other thing it has with the chains, Francis, is it has opened up some of my time, because I'm out and about doing more sales. So now I can do that more than I could have before. Before I was pretty much stuck in house all the time because we had so much work happening here. So now it is going to give me a chance to do that. So I am going to surprise you one day and say, let's go.
All right. Well,
all right.
Swell. Leah, who's the smooth-talking gentleman with you?
That is Sonar. I introduced him to you yesterday. He had the hat on. He was working behind the camera.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yep. And he is one of our managing partners along with Dean.
All right. Great.
Yep.
Got a good radio voice, I'll tell you.
That he does. You can actually listen to him in the afternoons. Quite often he's on for our Out to Lunch programming. Whether we're in studio or if we're going out and about, then they can do that out to lunch. So, yeah, he's a good guy.
Okay.
His history is radio.
All right.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I'd like to order a few things if I can.
Certainly. What are you looking for today?
Stockholm's, do you have the $15 one?
I do have the Stockholm's $15 certificate. Do you go there for the brunch too, or why do you fancy the 15 over the 10?
Because I could get my good portobello mushroom sandwich.
Nice.
For that amount.
You know what? I just learned this, and you maybe know it because I know you're a vegetarian, but I did not know that. Okay, so when you eat a mushroom, I always pop the tail off. I don't like eating stems. So my husband, it drives him crazy because he still says it's part of the mushroom, but I always pop the stems off, okay? So when you are doing, well, my husband, you know John. Anyway, when you are, I did not realize the necessity to pull out, they call it a beard on the inside of a portobello mushroom. Do you know what I mean? Like the little they call it the beard. Do you know what I'm talking about?
What do you mean pull it out?
Well, to remove it. So, like, you're supposed to, when you do a portobello mushroom, when you flip it upside down, right? And you know, like those little webs that are in it. I don't know what you call them, but they called it the beard. I was watching a cooking show the other day, and they kind of downplayed the guy because he said there's a bitter flavor to that because you didn't pull out the beard. And so I was like, man, did you know that?
I may be wrong, but I think Stockholm's keeps it on because I always think how pretty it looks.
Yeah, because there's a fan on it.
And it tastes great.
Yeah. I'm going to have to look it up. So maybe it's something else that what they're talking about. So preparation, I'm going to look that up, and I'll let you know. I'll send you a text on what it is. Actually, it wasn't the beard. I think it's the gills, they call it. So they say that all the while rotating in the palm of your hand. So the gills that they're talking about, how to clean a portobello mushroom. To remove the gills, use a paring knife to trim the stem, then scrape off the gills using the edge of a teaspoon. See, isn't that interesting?
It is interesting. This shows you that I don't do much cooking. I order tacos.
Well, you know what? The bottom line is it's good. So that's all we really need to know on it is that it's some good stuff, right? All right. So I could get you your certificate for Stockholm. Anything else today?
Yeah, Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Tropical Smoothie, located over in Huntley. Tropical Smoothie is a $10 certificate. Normally we have it for $5. Today you'll get that for $3.75. And anything else for you?
Village Pizza in Elgin.
And Village Pizza of Elgin, that's a $10 certificate. We've got it for $6. Today you'll be able to pick that up for $4.50. Got it for you?
So what is that? I didn't know how much the Stockholm's is. So where am I now?
Stockholm's, let me just get you your Village on here real quickly. $10 value, that one's $6, so that'll take us down to $4.50. Our Stockholm is normally going for $8.50, so that means you're going to take 2 off of it. That'll bring you down to $6.50.
Okay. So let's see, 10, 11. Okay, and how about a McDonald's then?
McDonald's, you got it. And that is going to get us to our bingo card. Playing along. Yep, there you go. Our bingo card. And that is charge and hold usually you do. Is that right, Francis?
Well, yes, but I was going to ask if I can use my holiday bucks.
Yeah, you can use your holiday bucks. That's fine. So let me just put that in there.
Thank you. I keep forgetting to ask.
Yeah, and you have to ask. Otherwise, they'll charge it, and we won't know. Give up ahead of time.
I know.
All right, you are good to go, my friend. You have a great day, okay?
Thank you, Leah. You too.
All right. Bye-bye. And that was Miss Francis. We need to take a real quick commercial break. I want to remind you, you're listening to WRMN. This is One-on-One with Leah. A quick commercial break. We'll be back with more after these messages.
Hey there, this is Marky B from the First Shift Morning Show, and on my show, I try to make local movers and shakers feel comfortable when they join me for interviews, like Sherry Blazier of the Elgin History Museum.
I think I need to note to you that I just looked at my mood ring, and it is perfectly purple, which means I'm very happy and content and sailing along. I figured if I immersed myself in the accoutrements, I would be in the mood for this.
Huh. Accoutrement? Is that what you said?
Accoutrement.
What she said. Just join me mornings from 6 until 10 a.m. right here on WRMN.
WRMN has been serving Elgin and the Fox Valley for 75 years, featuring a combination of local news, information, and entertainment in the mornings, followed by the radio shopping show for 5 hours each weekday. The First Shift with Marky B starts your morning at 6 a.m., and it's always fun when Larry Jones is a part of the show.
Maybe we need to get a radio intern in to help.
Maybe so.
Somebody that you won't have to pay and you can treat them tough.
I can haze them.
Can't haze, you'll get fired. Remember that guy from Northwestern?
Yeah.
Gone.
Did he really do it?
You don't have to really do it. If somebody says you did,
yeah,
good enough. Maybe I'm going to accuse you of hazing me. I don't have to prove it.
And then there'll be a lot of people that come out of the and say that I also hazed
I
him.
remember when Mark hazed me. I've been hazed.
Mark hazed me back in 2012.
2012. I remember in Memphis one time. He was really mean to me.
It's First Shift fun and information in the morning, combined with the radio shopping show to save you money. And you get it right here on WRMN AM 1410, WRMN 1410 Radio on Facebook, and WRMN1410.com.
It's the time of the year where storms and inclement weather can pop up unexpectedly. If you have a generator powered by a small engine, keep it running like a top. Don't do the tune-up yourself. Let Ames Small Engine Repair at 674 Laurel Street in Elgin handle your generator. Ames can do oil changes, spark plugs, and make all the necessary adjustments. From simple tune-ups to major repairs, Ames Small Engine can do it all. Don't forget, it's not too early to think about a lawnmower tune-up. Call 847-742-8750.
Here at WRMN Radio, we try to connect with the community and discuss important issues, like our current mental health crisis. Here's Lori Baker, President and CEO of AID.
I think most people, when they see young children thinking about suicide at the ages of 5 and 6 and 7, I mean, that's shocking to me that children even know that they want to harm themselves somehow. I know it's difficult. I definitely feel the pinch. We all feel the pinch at the gas pump, at the grocery store, right, in our rents, but I think most people could handle 27 cents a day to help kids and seniors and people experiencing homelessness.
Discussions like this take place on the First Shift, weekday mornings from 6 to 10, right here on WRMN AM 1410 and WRMN 1410 Radio on Facebook.
Hailing from Tanzania, you'll be thrilled to see the Zuzu African acrobats celebrate the 2,000-year-old Bantu culture of East Africa. The Zuzu acrobats have performed on America's Got Talent, and you can see their incredible acrobatics and energizing African drumming, singing, and dancing this Saturday at 4 at the Egyptian Theater in DeKalb. Each performance has incredible gravity-defying stunts while displaying the grace, beauty, and strength of the African culture. Visit EgyptianTheater.org.
The Distance Social, your spot for great craft cocktails with meaningful conversation. Whether you're out entertaining a group or out for a memorable nightcap, The Distance Social is your spot for starting or ending the perfect evening. Located at 314 North River Street in beautiful East Dundee, Illinois. Go the distance and find your social at The Distance Social.
You are listening to One-on-One with Leah, which features the radio shopping show on steroids. Call 847-931-1410 now and live large for less with Leah. That's 847-931-1410. And now back to Studio 14 in downtown Elgin for more One-on-One with Leah.
And welcome back, everybody, to One-on-One with Leah, 1134, according to my digital. We have got beautiful skies outside. I just walked up the street a bit during that last commercial break. We've got some buds happening on the trees. And Sonar, I don't know if you get excited about this, but this to me means the start of color. This is like walking through that door on Wizard of Oz where we start to get green grass again. And the wintertime, that's usually why I do my vacations in the wintertime, because everything is gray and you know, either white with snow or brown with mush or slush everywhere. So it's always nice to me to get out and about. One thing I want to remind everybody, and I want to do a shout out, we do have certificates right now to Mike Moore Miles. And yesterday, with all of the construction going in, yesterday morning, I was out on the road prior to bringing my way back to Elgin here to go to the Elgin Public House, right, for a remote. And I had this wonderful little gauge on my car that said tire pressure low. And I thought, harumph. Okay. Yeah. And it was down to 22 PSI. So I was like, all right, well, there's something going on.
Oh, you don't just get the light. You get the actual measurement.
It tells me the measurement. Yeah.
Hey, that's nice.
Come on.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Hey.
Anyway.
Most of us just have to wait for the.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I had a car when I first moved down here. I got a car and it was already up to 180,000. When you're in sales, you're going to see this too until you come a little closer. That just starts to add up, right? And so even now, I bought a car a year ago. So, and I've already got 60,000 on it.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's inevitable, right? So anyways, you have to maintain and upkeep on your car. Mike Moore Miles is one of our clients that we have here on the show. They're located right up on Dundee, not that far. So I was on the road, saw this was happening. I knew I wouldn't have time because traffic was just barely getting me to the Elgin Public House. So I knew the light was on. So then I had left there a little bit early because I knew I had a meeting here. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to call Mike Moore Miles. I'm just going to not call. Actually, I just drove in. When I left the public house yesterday, I look and here's a big, beautiful bolt just sticking in my tire. Yeah. And it was shiny. And luckily, you know, obviously the wheel just had turned up the right way and I could see it right on the tail. So talk about good business here. I took right from there. I said, well, I have to get it fixed. I won't be able to do it tonight. I'm always here later anyway. So there's not going to be anything open. I don't want to have a flat at that time.
Yeah.
Drove it over to Mike Moore Miles real quickly because I knew I had to be back here for not only a meeting, but also the show. Drove it over there. I said, can you guys do anything to take care of it or can you check it? Because when you get a bolt or something bigger, it can't always be repaired.
Yeah, and you don't want to be taking that out either. That's probably the only reason you were able to do that.
Yeah. Then and so it had the slow leak, you could tell. But if I would have taken that out, it would you would have had a flat immediately. One time I was down in Florida and had a trip from hell, really. And I was going to pick my husband up. We were going to go on a cruise. And the day before we left, he tested positive for COVID. And so we had to cancel everything. I still did a trip down to visit my mom. He came afterwards when he was cleared to travel. And I went to go pick him up from the airport, had a flat tire. And I know at airports that this is the one good thing about when you're out in sales and you're out and about, you learn all these little tricks. So I know every airport has a gas station by it because the rental cars are going to have to fill up their gas tank, right? So I pulled in there, saw the air, and I thought, okay, great. It was my mom's car because I had flown in already. So I took my mom's car. She didn't have any meter. Went in the gas station, bought one of the little air PSI readers, right?
Okay, yeah.
So bought one of those, came back out, checked the tire. And this is hopefully a education for anybody else out there that goes through this. Check the tire pressure. I knew what it had to be. And if you always look, ladies, gents, anybody out there, you look on your tire, it'll tell you what the required, or if you want, you can look in the book or the manual. But if you don't have that or don't want to dig it out on the tire, it usually will have on there what the PSI is, right? So I did it, measured it. I thought, okay, I see what I'm down to. Took the gauge, you know, tried to get it. And all of a sudden I did the gauge again, the measurer, and it looked like it was going down. And I thought, okay, well, I must not have done that right. So I held it on there even longer. All right. Then I did the tape. You know, you push the end in and you got to put it back on there to check it. Kept going down. I'm like, what the heck? Finally, a guy comes up to me. He goes, you know what? I got caught in that trap last week. He goes, the air doesn't work. Every time you press that, you're letting air out of your tire. Yep. So this whole time I'm like, holding the button down, thinking like, all right, this is going to give me some air. I'll be able to pick my husband up from the airport. No, I ended up having to call the big guys to come out and change my tire it was hell.
Yeah, especially because you can hear the compressor running too.
It
so
does.
It's like something is happening in that box.
Yeah, so you know it, and you're trying to get it on there just right so you're not letting anything escape.
So what did Miles end up with?
So anyway, so I went to Mike Moore Miles, and their name, and a lot of people have sometimes said, well, why is that such an odd name, Mike Moore Miles? And now they've got locations in quite a few different areas, so they've really grown. It's employees. They had a gentleman before, it was a Merlin's. Years ago, and they had a gentleman that would come in here, and he would not give up his car, and his name was Mike, and he says, nope, I can get more miles on it. Or they'd want him to do something. He's like, no, I can get more miles on it. So they ended up naming it Mike More Miles.
Nice.
That's the reason behind the name. So I took it there, and I said, they know I work in radio, and I said to him, I said, okay, here it is. And they said, what time you got to be on? Because they could see the panic in my face.
Yeah.
And I said, well, within the hour, so if we could do something. They had that within about 25 minutes. They got my car in right away. They were able to pull out the bolt. They were able to repair it, and it's just a $25 charge.
That's amazing.
Right? So anybody, I have to tell you out there, first of all, Sonar Head, tip number one, do not ever pull it out, because you will immediately be stranded where you're at. But because there's so much construction, and we're driving through a lot of those places, especially now that we get into the springtime of the year, you're going to be out on the highway. You're going to be having a lot of construction. Watch for it, because it's just one stray bolt.
That's all it takes.
That I had to have went right over, and it went right in the tread of my tire. And then all of a sudden you're going to realize why you have a flat.
And you're talking about the construction side of it. What do they do when they're constructing the road? They send you to the shoulder.
Yep.
Well, the shoulder is where all the garbage
gathers.
And everything else.
They're pretty much just putting you into the dump. Yeah, they might as well they should have certificates right there for tire changes, right immediately right there for services, or they should have the road crew, right there ready to help you for a little fee, a minimal fee.
Because they don't go and sweep that before they send you down there.
No, pretty much we as cars are just kicking it to the curb. So then when we have to go out there, we're riding right through it. Yeah. But that's the second time I've had that happen, where I was actually going down. I was on 31 and I was heading towards Carpentersville, and I saw something come off of a truck, and it almost looked like rebar. Like you could tell it was a piece of something, and that, of course, just landed right in my car, and then all of a sudden it was that whoop. It's an undeniable sound.
Oh, yeah.
Once you get it. And tires are expensive, man. If there's any tire distributor out there, I'm going to suggest that you check us out at the Radio Shopping Show, because not only can we guarantee people to come in, even if you just do a standard tire, if people want to upgrade, because I even got quotes yesterday knowing that my tires are going to need to be changed eventually anyway. They gave me some quotes. And so tires go from a basic to this to an elite, right? There's different levels of it. I can see certificates for any kind of tires, Discount Tires Plus, any of those businesses that are around here. And if you're listening, or you know somebody that owns that business, give them the consideration of doing the Radio Shopping Show, because what a great way to get somebody, especially then, the one thing about the Radio Shopping Show is that it's our job to get people through the door. What the business does with them after they get there, that's up to them. But I can promise to get people through the door. And anybody else who's doing marketing or who is looking at advertising their product, you are usually spending money in the hopes that somebody's going to hear the ad and act on it, or in the hopes that somebody's going to see that print ad in the Clipper magazine and they're going to come back and redeem it, right? We can guarantee that. That's the one thing that's most popular and most, I stand proudest of the Radio Shopping Show, is that we can guarantee to get people through your door. Folks are not going to buy a certificate without the intent of redeeming it. Yeah.
And that's what we talked about even in the last segment, is they're trusted, vetted companies. This isn't just because we're not going to keep sending everybody over to a bad company.
Right.
People aren't going to buy gift certificates for a bad company. So we already know that you're a good company. And it really breaks it down to that trust and that loyalty. You knew that Mike's More Miles was the one that you were going to go to.
Immediately.
Brand loyalty right there. It's I look at it as the Cheers effect. You go in and, hey, Norm, how are you?
Like them saying, when you got to be on.
Exactly. They know that you're rushed. You're not just another face. You're not just another you're not just another no-name customer.
Right.
You're somebody who came in, somebody that now you can use the WRMN clout to say, look, I got this gift certificate from WRMN. Oh, do you know Leah? How is it? How you been listening? Oh, I love this program over here or that. It's an instant bond with somebody that you just met for the first time because you made the gamble, and it's not really a gamble. It is a guaranteed savings when you go to the website, WRMN1410.com, and buy it right there, or come see us, 16 Douglas.
And all of it is available today, even that Mike Moore Miles. You know, the funniest story, of course, like I always say, I share my open book. It's embarrassing, but the funniest story behind this is that day that I hit that rebar, right? So, and this is when you have, again, brand loyalty and people will take care of you. I was heading to Carpentersville. This happened. I got the flat tire before I even got up the hill. I turned off on a side street there. I called them and I said, listen, this is what happened. And they said, we'll come out and help you. They came out to where my tire was flat. And so because I felt bad, so I was out on sales call, so I'm trying to get the spare tire out the back. And it was so windy that when they came up to me and I said, this is the best I could do. I said, I got a short skirt on, man. I can't moon these neighbors because the wind was just drafting around. So he remembers me for that. So every time I go in there, he remembers that story. But again, like I said, it's a matter of knowing the product, knowing what they do, knowing I'm not going to be BS'd.
Yes.
You know, and especially, I hate to say that as a girl because I never like to brand it that way, but quite often I think typically it's not an area that women are familiar with as cars. My dad taught me some of it, which I take great pride in, you know, understanding you're watching your oil and things like that.
Trust me, I'm in the same boat as you. I am an electrician. I am in no way a mechanic.
Yep. Yeah. And we understand our weaknesses, right? Yeah. You know, like my husband, if his big joke is yesterday he was helping somebody, or last weekend he was helping somebody, and he's not a mechanic at all. Like I said, I'm the one that put together the kids' swing set, you know?
You go, yeah.
But he also is very fine at admitting that, no, you know what, that's not my arena. So one time he was helping somebody and he goes, yeah, I helped him fix the gate. And I was like, really? And I said, did you get hurt? He said, oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A big old cut because he was holding the screwdriver. You know, I mean,
well, and I live
that.
by that principle even here for our business, where we turn around and say, yes, a lot of the production or podcasting or anything like that you can do on a Saturday. Absolutely. But are you going to do it every Saturday?
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing. Yes. Could I change my oil? Probably. But that's probably 5 or 6 YouTube videos afterwards.
Yeah.
Me buying the wrong oil and having to take it back.
And then messing up your car because that's a pretty big investment.
Yeah. Messing up my shirt, too, because it just flows out.
Or that stain that sits in your driveway the rest of the year.
So where you get to look at it and go, yeah, that's where I tried. Everybody who comes over is like, yeah, that's where I tried to change my own oil.
There's my epic fail right there.
Exactly. So lean on the experts. And if you can turn around and save money with the experts, because this is the thing, you're going to spend money anyway. It's just what we do in our society. You spend money. You as soon as you leave the house, even now when you're in the house, you're still spending money.
The wallet's coming with you.
Exactly. It just keeps going. So spend it with people that are already vetted, already trusted, and get your own personal discount at the same time. That's what I really like working, even regardless of the gift certificates. I love going to the same place, the same people, the same everything, because that's a service that I need.
It's a reliability. And I went there. I didn't have a certificate, but even if you had a certificate, let's say if you want to grab one now, in the case that you get the situation that I just did, that certificate would have covered the cost of that tire being fixed.
There you go.
You know, so even as a prep for it, maybe that'll even be enough to jinx it and keep it at bay so you won't get a flat tire.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing is let's say you got a funky noise. You're coming in, you're like, okay, well, I'm driving around, I got a funky noise. Well, I'll tell you what, let's go to WRMN, pick up the gift certificate. On the way, I'm already on that direction. Let's just go in, talk to Matt, shake his hand, say how great of a job he does from 3 to 6, and get your gift certificate right there. You didn't have to order it online, which you can. You didn't have to call in
Wait
on
for
the
it to
radio
come in the
show,
mail.
which you can as well. You can do all of these things, or You can just say, you know what? I've got an hour for my lunch, an hour and a half for my lunch or so. Let's just swing by WRMN, pick up the gift certificate in less than 10 minutes, and then go over and get your tire or whatever your funky noise is, and go get it checked
Your
out.
Diagnostics.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
and the one thing to keep in mind, folks, is sometimes it's just going to be a little bit more planning than what you would have had to before. But the fact is, the consistent savings are still sticking around. We're going to be here for a long time. So, one of the other things that came back, and we have to get to a quick commercial break here, and I think you might want to check out on here. But one of the things that has come up is that prior to the new managing partners, you and Dean coming in here, prior to that, we had a sistership with a couple of other stations. Well, what has happened now is that is dissolved, and each station has been acquired by an independent owner or owners, right? And so in our case, any kind of affiliation that we would have had with, let's say, I'm going to say right now, the Aurora station or our station out in Vegas has ceased. That is non-existent anymore.
You can still purchase things from those entities directly, but essentially we are all independent franchises.
Yep. And so that's the one thing I wanted to get through to now that since I have you in here is because a lot of folks they worry because maybe things might be happening or something is being offered at one of the destinations that we don't do here. And or maybe quite often in our case, as we're learning the new system, we obviously are fortunate that we have you and you're brilliant and making sure that we are on the air, but it's all a learning process, right? And so if there's times that one of our other stations is off the air and people are thinking, oh gosh, they're going under, I'm a little scared to even hesitant to order from anybody. Don't feel that way. This is the one thing that we want to do is make sure that people feel comfortable shopping, knowing that we're going to be here. We've got still a great representation of the products on the show. And then it's just a matter of, you know what, if you want it, come get it right now. You have an opportunity to do so 6 hours every day.
Yeah, WRMN is the home of the radio shopping show.
There you go.
It is the home, and I'm not going to kick something out of its home. My goodness. So
you're going to be that evil witch that's going to sit there on the side, right?
Now, by all means, I may kick it out of its apartment on the other side of Illinois, but here in WRMN, the home of radio shopping. We're not going to get rid of it. We're trying to revolutionize it and make it easier for everybody. I mean,
even up to date, man.
Even just last year is what we incorporated buying it online. And now we're incorporating in, yes, we love the live radio shopping side, but some people are a little shy. Maybe they just want to talk to Matt directly. Maybe somebody heard that sweet boy's voice and was like, well, hey, I'd like to take him out on a date for it right there. What radio shopping gift certificate would you like to go to with Matt? No, come and see him. Come and see us. We're opening the doors, and I'm sorry that we're kind of tightening a little bit of the Redemption Center side, but come here soon. We'll have the Redemption Center open every hour that we're open. And that way, from the beginning of the day to the end of our broadcast day, somebody on staff will be able to help you with that. I am working right now on maybe even setting us up with a couple kiosks.
Nice.
So you come in, and if you want to come and talk to us, you want to learn a bit more about the radio shopping side, but you'll be able to actually come in, purchase it right from the kiosk, print it out from the kiosk.
Be on your merry way.
And go out.
Just like going to your ATM.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's the same thing that us millennials, we don't like talking to people. For some reason, they just don't like doing it.
We've got our phone all the time, but we don't want to talk to people.
Text everybody. So you'll be able to come in. You can even wear sunglasses and a hat so I can't recognize you. And you can go in right to it and step right out. I mean, that's what we're trying to do is make it easier for you to save. And that's the whole purpose and point of this.
Amen to that. All right, we're going to take our next commercial break. This is One-on-One with Leah, reminding everybody we're going to be out to lunch today at Image 360, located at 506 Sundown Road in South Elgin. They're going to be having their ribbon cutting. I think they're probably out there prepping for that right now. Our quick commercial break, and then we'll do our final segment of One-on-One.
WRMN has proudly served the Fox River Valley for over 70 years. We're located at 14 Douglas Avenue in downtown Elgin. Right next to Studio 14 is our store known as the Redemption Center. You are always invited to stop by and see us to live large for less. The Redemption Center is the place to pick up your on-air orders, shop for certificates, and grab some brochures to learn about what we have to offer. Our Redemption Center phone number is 847-741-7700.
Family owned for over 40 years with 3 locations around the Elgin area, Beef Villa is open and ready to serve you. Stop in or drive through and get your lunch or dinner hot and fast. Enjoy burgers, dogs, chicken, and of course beef is waiting for you at either Elgin locations or South Elgin location of Beef Villa. Stop in for the Friday fish special, Villa Burger, pulled pork, or the incredible salads available from Beef Villa. Need help feeding a large group? Catering is always easy with Beef Villa. Go to beefvilla.com for catering options. That's beefvilla.com.
There's a hidden gem in Elgin's South End. It harkens back to the days when going to a diner with family and friends was where everybody gathered for a delicious breakfast or lunch. Ray's Family Restaurant at 801 St. Charles Street in Elgin is a diner that you'll love with tasty food. The atmosphere and the staff are friendly and fast. They're open until 3 p.m. daily. You can never go wrong with Ray's. Visit raysfamilyrestaurant.com. That's raysfamilyrestaurant.com.
A dream that's been cooking for years, Maria's Little Italy in Sycamore is waiting for you to come and enjoy authentic recipes handed down for generations. Stop in and enjoy bruschetta, handmade focaccia bread, pizza, pasta, sandwiches, and more. Dine in, take out, delivery, or catering is all available. Go to mariaslittleitaly.com and see what you've been missing. From their family to yours, welcome to Maria's Little Italy, where food brings families together.
Be sure to catch the first shift weekday mornings from 6 to 10 a.m. for important information like fire tips from Elgin Fire Chief Rob Sagan.
The thing in the winter that we're more concerned with is carbon monoxide, because that we don't get in the summer. That carbon monoxide issues occur because of heating equipment. Anything that burns natural gas, if it is faulty, can generate high levels of carbon monoxide, which in time can be fatal. So I can't emphasize enough the importance of having carbon monoxide detectors in your home. Every single year you will see somewhere in the country, and usually we'll get 1 or 2 in the Chicagoland area, where you'll see multiple fatalities in one home. You can't smell carbon monoxide, you can't taste carbon monoxide, you have no idea it's happening. And so it's critically important that you have the right detectors in your home.
It's the first shift weekday mornings at 6 a.m. with me, Marky B, right here on WRMN.
One of the things we're proud of at WRMN is our connection to the local community. In fact, recently we hosted a fundraiser for a longtime listener, Gene Wheeler, and first shift listener George Rollinson says it turned out perfectly.
Perfection is a moving target. You try to hit that bullseye and you zone in on it. It moves a little to the left and it moves a little to the right. I don't know. I'd say we hit a bullseye. I don't know how that could have been any better.
Working together to make Elgin better. We are WRMN AM 1410, serving the local community since 1949.
Beef Villa's 3 locations offer more than their signature Italian beef. Try the Italian sausage, roasted chicken, and more. There's a huge variety of delicious side dishes. Beef Villa uses quality ingredients from homemade recipes and buys top quality food products from their vendors to bring you the absolute best tasting food. Beef Villa's great service and quality are waiting for you, but you won't be waiting long because it's always hot and fast. Visit beefvilla.com.
We hope you're enjoying One-on-One with Leah, which features the radio shopping show, the most amazing show on the radio. Call 847-931-1410 now to live large for less with Leah. That's 847-931-1410. And now back to Studio 14 in downtown Elgin as you go one-on-one with Leah.
And welcome back to a very short segment here as we make our way into Out to Lunch. This is Leah broadcasting live right now from Studio 14, one-on-one, now heard Friday afternoons, or Friday mornings, I should say, from 10 a.m. until 12 o'clock noon. Wendy, thank you so much for putting your message in there. Great to hear that you had a wonderful time and enjoy your food out there out at Elgin Public House. Again, we were out at Elgin Public House. Today we're going to be out at Image 360. That's at 506 Sundown Road. So Mark's here got drive, but it's actually road. So 506 Sundown Road in South Elgin. A lot of people might be familiar with Sundown because one of the things we have on the show is Meineke Car Care Center. You know, and I know we're going to come to the bottom of the hour here, but we were talking a little bit about Mike More Miles. We also have a place called Meineke and Meineke Car Care Center over on Sundown Road. So you might want to check it out if you're going to be over there for the Out to Lunch today.
Say hi to our towers.
Amen. Is that they offer a diagnostic fare if you fail your emissions test.
Really?
And that's another one that, you know, there's times with my older cars now, thank goodness I don't know why I still get nervous. It's like a test in school, like, where can I study? You know, but you pull into that thing, and if you fail it, you don't get your license renewal. So, I mean, it's a mandatory. In Wisconsin, we didn't have emissions test. So when I moved down here, that was another thing that I had to get used to. So I did that first time I went there, and I was just hoping that everything would work out okay. And when it doesn't, sometimes that can be a difficult thing. You know, nowadays they have got a computer little hookup that they can scan and they can show this is what's causing you the difficulty or the problem, but it can be quite costly. And so we've got a certificate for a failed emissions test at Meineke. So Meineke Car Care Center, if you find yourself in that position, then I'm going to strongly suggest you grab yourself a note, and then a certificate, and then you'll be able to head on over there. I'm going to manually put us into our out right now because I think our 5850 is gone.
That's okay.
So we're going to move ourselves over into the top of the hour. But I want to thank you very much for popping in here today and sharing some of your wisdom.
No, anytime.
The wise sonar. We're going to be back again, heading on over, go out to lunch with Marky B. He's going to be out there for the ribbon cutting out at Image 360. Have a great weekend, everybody. And reminder, I will be on tomorrow. So join me tomorrow.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 12 o'clock.
I am Brenda Rogers, Democratic candidate for Kane County Recorder. I am asking for your vote on March 19th. As a realtor and former elected official, I know the importance of keeping individuals informed and staying abreast of technology. As your next recorder, I will make sure the website is updated, user-friendly, and our residents are aware of the services offered to them. Proud to receive the endorsement of the Daily Herald, paid for by citizens to elect Brenda Rogers.
Everything is fantastic at the China House Buffet on Sycamore Road in DeKalb. Scrumptious food combined with a wide variety of flavors, all served with love, await you. Choose from Chinese delicacies like Shanghai shrimp rolls, crab rangoon, and spare ribs. There's seafood, beef, as well as chicken wings and shrimp. The China House doesn't stop at Chinese food on the buffet. They also have Japanese favorites, including beef teriyaki, sushi, and hibachi, plus American food. Tempt your taste buds. Visit eatchinahouse.com today.
And welcome to the Out to Lunch show here on WRMN. We are live at Image 360 in South Elgin, Illinois on this Friday. It's a beautiful day outside. I'm Marky B, and we are trying to take Out to Lunch with WRMN on the road here as we get the new programming schedule underway. Everybody is outside the building. We're on Sundown Drive in South Elgin if you want to come see us today. And we're going to be here from 12 until 1. Sonar, the Savant Green's back at the radio station. He will be taking over at 1 o'clock this afternoon. Right now, the Elgin Chamber of Commerce, a lot of other friends and family of the owners here of Image 360. It's a sign shop. They are outside taking part in a live Facebook, I think, for the ribbon cutting that's taking place right now. So the owners, Lisa and Matt, are going to swing in here and join me in just a couple of minutes as we get this show underway. This is WRMN, and this is a new show that's on from 12 to 2 every day. The radio shopping show will be back on the air this afternoon at 3. Matt will have that for you from 3 to 6 this afternoon, so listen in to Matt. Be sure to go to our website for more information at WRMN1410.com. That's WRMN1410.com. Looks like they're going to have a little lunch here. They're getting ready to unveil the food. I think it's going to get a little bit loud in this room in just a few minutes when the people come in from outside. And during this hour, we're going to talk, as I mentioned, to Lisa Schmidt and Matt Merritt. We'll see which one of those two will come up. They're both the co-owners of the Image 360. And then Carol Gieske from the Elgin Chamber is probably going to swing by for a minute and talk to me. She's here today. And, of course, she has her once-a-month show on WRMN, which is Chamber Chat on the fourth Tuesday of every month at 9:15. She features Elgin businesses, talks about them. But today we're just a little bit down the road here in South Elgin. If you want to find the place, it is off of Route 31, not too far from our friends at Arcades, not too far from the WRMN transmitter, not far at all from the Meineke, which we have had oil changes from for a long time on the radio shopping show. Pretty well-known place, pretty well-known street, at least, here in South Elgin. If you turn off of 31 onto Sundown Drive and you head to the west, the actual address is 506, and you can see what they have to offer here at Image 360. I got a brochure here in my hand, and it's signs, graphics, displays, 360 degrees of exposure, I guess is their slogan, and I'll find out all of what they have to offer in just a few minutes. Coming up in the second half of the hour, Drew Sosnowski is going to stop by for a bit. He's running for state's attorney for Kane County in the fall. He's very active in a lot of ways here locally, and one of the reasons he's going to be stopping by at 12:30, well, he'll introduce himself a little bit to the local audience, but also there is going to be a free Narcan training session going on for opioid overdose prevention. Kane County Health Department's putting it on along with the 708 board for the Elgin Township. This location where we are today at Image 360 is right in the middle of the Elgin Township. Elgin Township building is at 729 South McLean Boulevard, and this event is coming up a week from tomorrow at 1:30 in the afternoon. If you'd like to learn more about maybe saving somebody's life, if you are anywhere near anybody that's suffering from an opioid overdose, that's what this is going to be. And it's sponsored by Elgin Breakfast Rotary Club, Elgin Township Committee on Seniors, the Elgin Township Mental Health Board, and the Elgin Township itself. And on the 708 board is Drew Sosnowski. and he will be here to tell us about this event, to tell us about another event he wants to talk about, and also to introduce himself a little bit, tell you why he's running for state's attorney come November. Well, thanks for joining us. It is a beautiful day here in the Mid-South, the Midwest. And here at the beginning of this noon hour today, we are looking at somewhere around 50 degrees. I believe that's going to be our daytime high today. Bright sunshine outside right now. Don't forget that later on today, as I mentioned, the radio shopping show, and coming up, as you hear the noise outside, that's some confetti going off for the official ribbon cutting having taken place here at a kind of new sign shop, Image 360 in South Elgin. So the confetti has now flown, and some of the people are going to come back inside the building here in just a couple of minutes, and we'll be joined by the owner of Image 360 in just a second. As I was mentioning, the Redemption Center is open now. It is in downtown Elgin, 14 Douglas Avenue. So you can come on by and visit Matt. He'll be in the Redemption Center until 3 o'clock this afternoon. And then the radio shopping show will be live from 3 until 6. Looks like we might have our first visitor of the day. One of the owners here at Image 360 coming by here in just a second. Who's going to go first? Lisa's going to pick up a microphone here. And we're looking that way, Lisa.
Okay, great.
Lisa Schmidt with Image 360. The reason that I know you is because you were my dance instructor.
I was.
For the Pads dance about, what, 5 years ago now?
Yeah.
It was 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was.
And we danced, Lorena and I danced to Sweet Home Chicago. You remember that, huh?
I do.
You've
It was
danced,
a great routine.
You've instructed a lot of people over the years.
I have, actually.
You remember every person you've instructed with every song?
All the good ones.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought maybe. Well, that's what I was going to say. I thought maybe you remember me because I was one of the bad ones and I was very memorable.
No, that wasn't it.
Oh. So we learned about a 2.5-minute dance song.
Yes.
And it took us about 2 months to learn how to swing dance to that.
No.
Takes a long time.
Yeah.
So, well, welcome. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Because this is what it's all about here today, right? Image 360, Lisa Schmidt and Matt Merritt. And you guys are husband and wife and the owners of this place. And even though you've been open for a little while here, it's kind of, in a way, like a grand opening today, right? You never had a ribbon cutting.
No, we haven't done that yet. So we wanted to take the opportunity to just, announce it to the community and have people out to see our business and come over and really see what we do and visit the shop. And and just really make an event out of it.
Yeah.
So,
well, beautiful day. Nice turnout today.
yes.
And a dream come true in a way, right? You and your husband are both from Elgin originally.
Yes.
And now you get to have a shop right here in the Elgin area.
That's right.
Yeah. Well, you want to tell us a little bit about the business? I guess that's Matt's job,
So
right?
I'm going to hand the microphone.
Pass the microphone over to Matt.
Hi.
So congratulations. I know this is a proud day for you. You want to tell us a little bit about your history a little bit before you got this shop and how it all came about?
Sure. I was in graphics in high school, Burlington Central, and I wanted to have a job that was in the graphics field. And I started at a local sign company the summer before my junior year in high school, and I've been doing it ever since. So that's almost 30 years. And about 11 years ago, I started working here at this shop, and it was Signs Now at the time, and then we changed names, same company, but just different name. And I worked for multiple owners, and eventually we were able to purchase it from the previous owner, and which was a year ago, March 1st last year. And we this was definitely a dream, definitely a God thing that we would not have been able to do on our own. For sure.
Yeah, it kind of all came together. I think Lisa was telling me how it all sort of fell together perfectly for you.
Yes.
Can you explain what that means a little bit? How that happened?
Well, the previous owner texted me out of nowhere and asked if I wanted to purchase the shop. And this was the shop that, one, is in the community that I live. It's in the community that I was born in. I was born in Elgin, and my family's in this area. This is where we're raising our kids. And it's 5 minutes from my house.
Yeah.
So it's very convenient. And I know the shop the most out of all the other places I've worked. So this is exactly what we wanted. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're on a nice, kind of a major thoroughfare in a way, at least, it's a main street coming through from McLean Boulevard down to Route 31. And if you're around the South Elgin area at any point in time, you're generally probably going down Sundown Drive at one point. The official is 506 Sundown. And so you come down Sundown off of 31 to the west or to the east from McLean, and you're on the north side of the street. Pretty easy to see.
Yeah, right in the corner of Sundown and Schneider.
Sundown and Schneider. So you want to talk about some of the things that you offer here at Image 360? This is not the only Image 360, right?
Correct. It's a franchise. They're all individually owned and operated. And corporate's fantastic. They really help us out when we need it. Yeah, so we do everything from business cards to vehicle wraps, everything in between, yard signs, the sign here behind us, standoff signs, wall graphics, name tags, pretty much anything. Banners are fantastic. Trade show booths, trade show banners.
And everything.
Pretty much everything. If you're not sure if we do it, give us a call and we'll let you know. We probably do.
Yeah. So, and I noticed what do you call the art? And you can't see it on the camera here, but you have door art. And what's that called?
Well, we flatbedded. We use a flatbed printer. It's a UV printer that we print directly to substrates, materials, whatever. So we took the door off our hinges and we took all the hardware off, put it on our flatbed printer, and we just printed directly to it just to show what the machine is capable of.
Do people have their doors at home done?
Not often.
Yeah.
Not often.
That'd be an interesting way to decorate your door at the house, I suppose.
Yeah, you could make your door look a lot more expensive than it is. If you have a cheap door, you could make it look mahogany or something if you wanted.
Yeah.
Wallpaper's really making its way back, and this is a print. So we have in our office, you can't see it from here, but a picture from our honeymoon that Matt printed out, and it's the entire wall in our office. So you can take a photo you like and put it on a wall in your home or something like that. Instead of just buying wallpaper, something generic from the store, it can be really personal.
That's pretty cool. I know we were talking about that yesterday a little bit when we visited the place. Like with WRMN, we are about to be in our 75th year, celebrating our 75th anniversary. I think we went on the air in September of 1949. So conceivably, if we had the right type of images, pictures, things from over the years, right, we could almost have like a history of the radio station.
Absolutely.
Going down a hallway wall or something like that in different ways, right?
Yep. Yeah, dates from the beginning all the way to the end, and pictures in between showing you maybe the first building you started, or the first crew that was on the air, or whatever. Yeah, absolutely.
So you not only work from here, but you also go out and you scout out places. If someone needs a job done at the business or whatever, you go and do the work at their place.
Yes, I'll come to you. We can do site surveys. Come to you if you're not really sure what you're looking for, or if you need measurements or whatever. I will go out there, take pictures and measurements. We'll superimpose the signs we're proposing on the photos and give them to you as a proof, and then you can, at least that way you'll know what it'll look like before we produce it.
Yeah. So what are your general office hours here?
8:30 to 5.
8:30 to 5?
Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5. So there are sign shops around. You see them from time to time all over the area. Do you feel like there's something that you guys do that kind of separates you guys from the other sign shops around, or?
Well, we have a vehicle base, so we can do fleets year round. We don't have to worry about the weather being nice or going somewhere else. So we do fleets a lot. But just overall customer service and my 30 years experience. So yeah. And my lovely support team here.
Yeah. Right. Well, you're listening to WRMN. This is Out to Lunch, and we're on the air till 2. We'll be here till 1 o'clock. I see one of my guests, Drew Sosnowski, is here. He'll be in just a few minutes to join me. Carol Giese with the Chamber of Commerce is going to join us in just a couple minutes as well. So vehicle fleets, that means like a business that wants to have all of their vehicles wrapped or something like that, right? Or get some magnets done. And
absolutely.
Things of that nature.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were telling me before the show that you're one of the things you're proud of is some of the, when you're driving down the road and you see a job that you did, and you pointed to the South Elgin sign, the village signs. You actually did those signs for the village of South Elgin. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. About half of them are the ones we did, which are like faux brick. There's foam inside, styrofoam, and those are a little better, safer if someone were to go off the road and hit them. Almost no damage to your vehicle. But there are others that we didn't do that were masonry. I think the city just did those themselves. But we can absolutely do those.
And so can you think of other churches or businesses or fleets that you've done that you want to mention while we have you on the air here? Maybe Lisa can.
I can think of a couple. So the Russo sign on Randall Road, we did that here at this shop.
Okay.
Martin Auto in downtown Elgin, we did their signs there. Christ Community Church, we've done a lot of signs for. Hosanna Church, a lot of churches up and down Randall Road we've done. We've done banners for South Elgin High School. We did a big scoreboard project for Huntley High School really recently, where they have all the boys and girls stats for all the different sports going up in their gym, and we did those. They're really huge and they're really cool. It was a really neat project.
Yeah. Well, so if people want to find out more about the shop, 360 degrees of exposure. Is that your slogan? Yeah. Yeah. 360 degrees of exposure. Signs, graphics, displays. Is there a website, or what's the best way that someone can find out more about you?
Yeah, you can call the phone number, or you can go on the website, which is, I'll do the phone number first.
Okay.
847-488-0650. And the website is southelginil.image360.com.
southelginil.image360.com.
Correct.
And let's see, the phone number one more time was 847-488-0650 for Image 360 at 506 Sundown Road here in South Elgin. So today you'll be open till 5 for anybody who wants to come see the place for the first time. I know yesterday we were talking about you guys were going to be doing some like demonstrations. Yeah. What are you going to be doing today?
I'm going to be doing a demo. I'm going to wrap the hood of our shop truck so you can see a wrap in person. We have a couple of printers going. 60-inch wide HP printer is printing right now. And also our Fuji flatbed is going to print on a door and a few other things. So if you're around, you can take a look at that.
Is there a particular time that any of these demos are going to take place, or whenever you get around to it?
Whenever we get around to it, whenever we have a crowd that wants to take a look.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Well, thanks for having us here at WRMN today, and hopefully we can do some work together in the future. And congratulations on the new the business. It's been here for a while, but it's kind of like a new beginning today, right?
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thanks for being here.
Matt and Lisa with Image 360 here in South Elgin, Illinois. All right, we're going to take a quick break here on Out to Lunch with WRMN. I think Carol Gieske from the Chamber is going to drop by in just a couple minutes to say a word or two. And then Andrew Sosnowski is going to join us for a while for the second half of Hour 1 of Out to Lunch on WRMN on a sunny Friday. We'll be right back.
Garibaldi's Italian Eatery offers Italian dishes, subs, kids menus, and their delicious pizza. The foundation of a great pizza starts with the crust. Garibaldi's crust is crunchy at the bottom, airy in the middle, and perfect every time. The finest ingredients are used to give their pizza this exquisite crust and wonderful taste. Dine at either of the Garibaldi's 2 locations in Hoffman Estates and Arlington Heights. Free party rooms are available too. Visit Garibaldis.com today.
Rooted in their family Mexican history, churros are made daily with love. Churros and Chocolate at 2533 West Algonquin Road has churros made from family recipes with care and fresh each day with delicious fillings. There's also the Frida Cafe where you can relax and catch up with a friend while having a warm drink. Try Churros and Chocolate specialty churros, the churro sundae, or take home a churro cake. Visit chocolate-inc.com.
How many times have you heard about or driven past the Volo Auto Museum and still haven't checked it out? They have over 200,000 square feet of heated showrooms filled with countless collections of the most amazing mechanical marvels in the world. From incredible collector cars, movie cars, trains, boats, and planes, to a Disney gallery, dinosaurs, vintage arcades, kiddie rides, and a medieval torture exhibit, plus the Titanic Museum. They're open every day from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Visit volofun.com.
Golden Corral Buffet and Grill, 154 Gary Avenue in Bloomingdale is open. Golden Corral's legendary Endless Buffet has a variety of delicious favorites and new menu offerings for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Guests can choose from over 150 items, including grilled-to-order sirloin, pork, seafood, as well as old favorites like fried chicken, meatloaf, and mac and cheese. Golden Corral is the only one for everyone. Visit goldencorral.com.
Celebrating 70 years of serving the Fox River Valley, WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM is proud to inform and entertain you every day with great local shows that keep you connected with the people in your community, like the Radio Shopping Show, where listeners are encouraged to let us know about their experiences with our business partners.
I usually go to Tripleberry during the week. It's not so busy. I had my normal lumberjack omelet. It's like a meat lover's omelet, and their fries are awesome. Just the texture of it, they're a little crisp, soft on the inside. I mean, really good.
The voice of the Valley and the home of the Radio Shopping Show. You are listening to WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
Experts say regular auto maintenance is one of the most important things for your car. Meineke Car Care Center at 376 Sundown Road in South Elgin covers all your automotive needs. From oil changes, brake services, and emission testing, Meineke's expert staff provides hard work and dedication with the utmost professionalism. Need an oil change? Visit Meineke in South Elgin for their 23-point inspection. Call 847-888-9644. Ever take your car through the auto emissions lane only to experience the sinking feeling that your car has failed the test? Don't fret. Let Meineke at 376 Sundown in South Elgin fix the problem for you. Meineke's mechanics will determine the exact problem with your vehicle and suggest necessary repairs with Meineke's diagnostic service. Pass that test with help from the trained Meineke technicians. Call today for your appointment. 847-888-9644. That's 847-888-9644. Welcome back to Out to Lunch here on WRMN on this Friday afternoon. It's one of our goals for the new program is to be out and about a little bit. And today we are at Image 360 here on Sundown in South Elgin. Yesterday we were at the Elgin Public House. I've got a guest you've heard of before here on the radio station, and she is Carol Gieske, president of the Elgin Chamber of Commerce. Hi, Carol.
Hello, Mark. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
So much fun having you out and on site. What a great idea.
You might see me a little more often in the future.
I hope so. That's great.
Lisa called me last Friday, having been my dance instructor in the past, and invited me to lunch. And I said, well, can I bring a radio station with me? And she said, yeah, that's fine. So this is a chance for us to kind of set up our stuff that we hope to do a lot in the future. Yesterday, we did a broadcast from the Elgin Public House.
Oh, isn't that great, Greg? I mean, well, we're sorry to lose his leadership. That's wonderful. Congratulations to him and his family.
We have to make sure that we find Greg the proper replacement.
Absolutely.
Since that is, I think, probably the most well-known restaurant in downtown Elgin. So we don't want to see that change too much when the ownership changes.
But, if ownership changes and leadership changes, maybe they have some wonderful changes too that they would want. But hopefully, yes, we need to get great owners who are responsive to the community and can continue to meet the needs of the downtown area.
So you, with the Elgin Chamber,
Yes.
not only focus on Elgin proper, but you step outside a little bit, right?
Elgin and South Elgin is the area that we cover, Mark. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is, even though this Image 360 has been open for a while, and it's not the only Image 360, you could tell that their leadership here, they feel like it is their own. They have a franchise, but they're claiming ownership here, and that makes a big difference, right?
It does make a huge difference. And we have had a relationship with Image 360 and Matt, actually, when Matt was on staff here. So the windows, we have a number of wonderful printers, great resources in the greater Elgin area, Elgin and South Elgin. Matt installed the window, the logos of our window on our windows in downtown Elgin. So we worked with Image 360 through iterations of of ownership. And we're just so excited for Matt and Lisa to own this and be as successful as they are.
Yeah. Well, if you guys used a Matt before, then you know he does quality work, right?
Quality work. They've done great stuff for us, and they're very generous in this community and Elgin as well. And that's so important when you have a family-owned business who can give back to the community and employ their neighbors and, you know, your friends. Great thing.
Well, and you do a lot of ribbon cuttings during the course of a year. You got sunshine today for this one. It's really not too bad for a mid-March day. I know it's not always the best weather for these ribbon cuttings, is it?
No, it isn't. In fact, just last week we had a couple of ribbon cuttings. One of them was indoors, was so much fun. We were at Ascension St. Joseph Hospital on Airlight Drive, and they have a new Da Vinci robot surgery system. And the robot cut the ribbon for us, like what we saw today with the big scissors that we have, very little scissors working through. So that was really terrific to have the Da Vinci robot do that. And then last week we were in South Elgin as well. The new Advocate Outpatient Center open on Randall Road. And so we had a ribbon cutting there. And that was a day that was cloudy and colder and windy, but nonetheless celebrating the activities and the expansion that's occurring in the Elgin area, South Elgin area.
How many ribbon cuttings per year are you involved with the Elgin Chamber?
We probably do 50 to 75 of them. Yeah, we have another one next week. So it's just wonderful to celebrate anniversaries, new ownership, expansions, whatever it might be. We're glad to bring our ribbon cutting and our volunteers and to these businesses.
Do you use the same scissors every time, or do you have a sharpener, or do the same scissors work every time?
We have the same scissors, and in fact, Mark, they're a hot commodity because a number of other businesses borrow our scissors.
Really?
So we're glad to loan them out. Yep, you bet.
Well, thank you for stopping by today. Appreciate it, Carol.
Thank you so
We'll
much.
see you on the air again soon.
I look forward to it. Thanks.
All right, that's Carol Gieske, Elgin Chamber of Commerce. This is Out to Lunch, and we're just going to continue here as we bring in our next guest. By the way, we're at WRMN1410.com if you want to find out all about the radio station. We'll soon on the website have a lot more programming information. It's been pretty radio shopping show dominated for a long time, but we're moving more where programming is just as, if not more, important than the radio shopping show concept, both working together in the future. But we're joined now by Drew Sosnowski. And welcome, Drew. How you doing?
Very nice. Very nice to be here. Congratulations on your new show here. This is fantastic.
Thanks.
And it's really great. Look at a big, huge crowd here.
I know.
Today. Amazing. Great.
Great day for the sign company for South Elgin, and these are good times for you. You're here. Why don't you introduce yourself just to our audience a little bit for those who might not know who you are at this point?
Sure. My name is Andrew Sosnowski. I go by Drew. Friends call me Drew. I am an attorney. I've been an attorney for the last 35 years, Mark. And
you don't look that old.
Yeah, well, I was 12, when I started. So
smart guy. You're a smart guy. Yeah.
But seriously, my office is downtown Elgin. I practice criminal defense mostly at this point, but I'm also the general counsel for Volunteers of America, Illinois. I opened a legal clinic for veterans recently that are facing housing insecurities. A lot of them are from the city because VOA's in the city, but we're moving out to Elgin too. So VOA is that. I'm also a professor, Mark, you probably know that, at Aurora University. I'm a senior lecturer, they call it, which is similar to a professor. And I teach criminal law there. And I've been a professor adjunct at Elgin Community College for the last 22 years, teaching paralegal studies and criminal justice there as well. So pretty big. And the reason I'm here today is I'm also the chairman of your mental health board.
Yeah, the 708 board for the Elgin Township.
Yes, exactly right, which is what you were instrumental in getting me on. The trustees voted us on to those positions, and I'm your chairman. So I've been doing that for the last little over a year and a half now, Mark.
Yeah, and there's some interesting developments along with that as far as the money that the 708 board for the Elgin Township has to work with, and some things that we're going through right now. But you're trying to figure out things that the Elgin 708 board can get involved with and to do, right? And what's going on the 23rd at the Elgin Township is has to do with opioid overdose prevention, and it's a free seminar, if you want to call it that, and it's something that the 708 board is involved with, right?
Yes, exactly, Mark. It's called Give the Gift a Second Chance. Give the Gift of a Second Chance. It is for Narcan. You've heard of that. Maybe it's a a chemical or a drug. It's also called naloxone.
Yeah.
And it's, if, for lack of a better term, it's like an anecdote for fentanyl. You know, we hear fentanyl crisis in our country. It's plaguing our streets. It's coming across our border. It's being produced in China very, very cheaply. It's getting into our opioids here in this country. It is manufactured, so it's synthetic, and it's very, very potent. They say it's 100 times more potent than morphine and 50 times more potent than heroin.
Wow.
So it's something that is very addictive, highly addictive, and it can kill you in extremely small doses. People can overdose. You're hearing that all the time around the country, fentanyl overdoses. It's in our communities, and it's coming here even in bigger droves. So this training, Mark, is been sponsored by the Elgin Breakfast Rotary, also the Elgin Township Committee on Seniors, which is great because seniors are going to be seeing their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren coming over. Sometimes they don't know what to do. Also the mental health board, as you said. And what this training does is it's going to teach people how to use this product so that people don't overdose. It's a second chance on life. And they're even going to give out, this has been brought to us by the Kane County health department. So the health department is going to do the training. Certainly I couldn't do the training or the people there, but they're going to be giving out also a small nasal spray and so that they can be used in people's houses and show them how to use it.
Yeah. So Narcan is becoming more accessible, I guess, and it's encouraged. It's encouraged for people to have some from time to time. I mean, I guess we'll learn how to notice the signs of an opioid overdose at this particular event at the Elgin Township on the 23rd, right? Because and is opioid overdosing, for lack of a better way of coming up with what I'm trying to say, is that like become like the top way that people die from drug overdoses in the area? I mean, we've gone through phases, right? There was heroin, there was crack cocaine, different things, but we hear more and more about fentanyl and opioid overdoses all the time now.
When we're talking about chronicity, it might be different. So people are dying from drug overdose. I mean, from drug addiction, I should say. It's a slow process. But when you talk about the acute cause of death, it's overdosing. And overdosing, particularly now on things like fentanyl. Fentanyl is highly addictive and also highly potent, and it can kill you very easily. A very small amount can kill. We see it in our neighborhoods here in Kane County. It's coming across our borders, and it's ending up here in Kane County. And that's a very, very critical thing to be aware of. So this is going to be a good training for people if they want to get out there and find out how to use a preventive, almost like I said, an anecdote to prevent somebody from dying from this.
And this takes place a week from tomorrow.
Correct.
It's at the Elgin Township at 729 South McLean Boulevard. And if you'd like to be a part of this, do you have any idea how long the session's going to take that day?
I believe it's going to be probably an hour and a half. I think that's probably what they're saying. So I would say people will be in and out of there by 3 o'clock.
Yeah. So free up about an hour and a half of time in your Saturday afternoon schedule. And it might be, it might lead to you saving someone's life somewhere down the line. Call the Elgin Township to RSVP by next Thursday, please, at 847-741-2045. That's 847-741-2045 over at the Elgin Township. And it's free. And they'd love to see you there. Are we missing out on anything else when it comes to that?
No, I have another thing to plug.
Yeah, sure. Let's plug. We get some time.
So thank you for that. And I think that's going to be a great training. And thank you for our sponsors as well, that they're very, very helpful.
Yeah.
So we have another thing. So as I told you, Volunteers of America, Illinois is coming to Kane County, coming to Elgin. Their office is right now in the same building I am across the hall from me. And they are sponsoring with Elgin Township a meeting on the 30th, which is the week after this Narcan training.
Okay.
It's on the 30th of March, which is a Saturday. It's at 9:30 in the morning till 11:30 in the morning. It's at the Elgin Township office, same address, same phone number. And it's called, I Got a Ticket. Now what? And just to tell you a little bit about what that is, you know, as a lawyer, I get some of the most calls I get are people saying, I got a ticket. Can you come and appear for me in court? Well, by the time they pay for me, it's not even worth going. So I usually talk them through on the line saying, here's what you do. So this is a training for everybody in general. It's open to Elgin Township and residents around. It's free as well. And this is the exciting part too. We invited the judge who sits in Elgin Township Court the Elgin court. We've invited a former prosecutor from Elgin, right, that worked in that courtroom.
Yeah.
Myself as a defense attorney in the Elgin Police Department. They're all going to come there and talk to people about, not giving legal advice, but just saying, what do you do in the event you get a ticket? And how do you, what should you do? Where do you go? How do you file this? What do you do? How do you say things? And it's going to be a very good training like that. So that's a couple hours as well. And that's also, again, sponsored by Elgin Township. You guys are busy between, you guys, the trustee, the supervisor. They do some great things for Elgin. So thank you.
Yeah, more and more programs going on that the Elgin Township has been involved with over time. So do a lot of people not know what to do when they get a ticket?
Well,
it seems like
it's fearful. If you ever got a ticket, police stop you and they say, "Here's your ticket. You could fill out the back." But what happens if you have some kind of a defense to that you might want to raise, or you might want to see if you can get supervision as opposed to paying something online? And even the process of, if you get the ticket and I just sign on the back of it, what happens to that? So a lot of times people ask those questions, and it sounds pretty rudimentary, but that's something that's going to be helpful to them. And even if it's not a speeding ticket, it could be a failure to yield. It could be even a ticket for dog barking or any kinds of situations like that, where a lot of times people can do it on their own. It's kind of like a do-it-yourself meeting.
Okay, so that's a week from this first seminar, which is taking place on Saturday, March the 23rd. The one we're talking about now is Saturday, March the 30th.
Correct.
And it starts at 9:30 in the morning, you said?
Yes, 9:30 in the morning. And that's Easter weekend. So we wanted to do it early that day so people can still have their Holy Saturday and Easter Sunday to do what they need to do.
Okay. And so people should also RSVP to the township for that?
That would be great. Yes.
Okay. And again, that number is 847-741-2045. 847-741-2045. Drew Sosnowski is with me. We're here at Image 360 in South Elgin for about 15, 20 more minutes. And it's their ribbon cutting event today. They're serving lunch. If you want to stop on by and see the place, they're going to have a demonstration about how to wrap a vehicle that they could actually watch that happen, I guess, if you want to stop on by between now and 5 o'clock this afternoon. So we're going to take a quick break. And Drew, you want to stick around for a few more minutes?
Absolutely, Mark. Thank you.
Okay. This is Out to Lunch with WRMN. It is a Friday afternoon. That's a good thing. Temperature about 50. Lots of sunshine here in the South Elgin area. We're at 506 Sundown Drive in South Elgin if you want to swing by and see us. Out to Lunch will be on the air until 2. Sonar will take over after the top of the hour break. Back from Studio 14 in downtown Elgin. From Image 360 in South Elgin, we'll be right back here on WRMN.
I am Brenda Rogers, Democratic candidate for Kane County Recorder. I am asking for your vote on March 19th. As a realtor and former elected official, I know the importance of keeping individuals informed and staying abreast of technology. As your next recorder, I will make sure the website is updated, user-friendly, and our residents are aware of the services offered to them. Proud to receive the endorsement of the Daily Herald, paid for by citizens to elect Brenda Rogers.
Hop on over to Lamb's Farm in Libertyville for a delicious bunny brunch on Friday, March 29th or Saturday, March 30th. Enjoy a delicious buffet at the Magnolia Cafe and Bakery. Then take a walk over to the Bunny Patch in the Visitor Center for crafts and a special visit with the Easter Bunny. Call the Magnolia Cafe and Bakery at Lamb's Farm for reservations for the Bunny Brunch at 847-362-5050. Visit lambsfarm.org for more information. Hippity hop! The lightest, fluffiest pancakes are calling your name at JoJo's Diner, 1935 West Gulf Road in Schaumburg. JoJo's has a huge breakfast menu featuring skillets, eggs Benedict, and so much more. Don't stop at breakfast. JoJo's also offers great burgers, sandwiches, and shakes. And for mouth-watering prime rib, try JoJo's for dinner. They have such a versatile menu. JoJo's Diner is family-owned and operated, and it's one of Schaumburg's best-kept secrets. Visit jojosdiner.com today. Good wine and food bring people together. Vine and Plate Wine Bar and Provisions serves globally inspired plates and wines from around the world, bringing people together and creating moments that focus on what life is all about. Vine and Plate offers shared plates, flatbreads, sandwiches, and salads. You can choose wines from everywhere, and there's an extensive whiskey list too. Ingredients matter. Quality matters. Every detail matters. Visit thevineandplate.com today. You never know what you might hear in the morning on the first shift with Marky B and friends. And for many years now, Mark's best friend on the radio has been his radio partner, Larry Jones, who joins him Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 8 a.m. And they really do seem to get along swell.
The summer just got away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We look forward to summer for so long.
I don't think I want to live like somewhere where it's never cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe have 9 and 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. 9 months summer, 3 months winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about a 7-2-1-2 split? Yeah.
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 Like 7 months of summer.
Yeah.
2 fall, 1 winter.
Yeah.
So we can have that taste of winter and Christmas.
You know, that's not a bad formula, Mark.
Yeah.
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 News, weather, traffic, sports, and local information and entertainment in the Fox River Valley. It's the first shift, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM.
It's always exciting to hear Elgin business owners like Tanner Melvin of Side Street Studios share positivity about the local community.
Elgin is on its way, and it has been, and it sometimes, we got set back, the pandemic, and it's been rough. Everyone has felt it in so many different ways. What we're trying to do is a lot of hand-holding and shoulder rubbing and being like, it's okay, it's okay. Mm-hmm. We're trying to get this town a lot more money. We're very lucky to live in this community right now. There's nothing like this around here.
Feel the positive power of the first shift with me, Marky B, weekday mornings on WRMN.
Dine out with family and friends at Nick's Pizza in Elgin or Crystal Lake. Nick serves up award-winning thin crust and Chicago-style pizza. Eat in or carry out. In addition to Nick's fabulous pizza, let Nick's cater your events with pizza, pasta, Italian beef, and other delicious offerings. Their big banquet rooms can accommodate all your event needs. So, for great pizza in a Northwoods, cabin-style atmosphere, bring family and friends to Nick's. Visit nickspizzapub.com. For local information and fun times in the mornings, listen to Marky B and Larry Jones on the first shift.
Maybe we need to get a radio intern in to help you.
Maybe so.
Somebody that you won't have to pay and you can treat them tough.
I can haze them.
You can't haze. You'll get fired. Remember that guy from Northwestern?
Yeah.
Gone.
Did he really do it?
You don't have to really do it. If somebody says you did,
yeah,
good enough. Maybe I'm going to accuse you of hazing me. I don't have to prove it.
It's the first shift, weekdays from 6 to 10 a.m. right here on WRMN.
Renata's Old Salem Cafe is now Renata's German restaurant, with old family recipes for delicious Bavarian dinners. Renata's is also known for breakfast and lunch. Renata's German restaurant has fresh baked German pastries. For a hearty breakfast, try Renata's for pancakes, skillets, and more. They've also set the standard for catering excellence. Try Renata's German restaurant off Irving Park, west of Wise Road in Hanover Park. Visit renatasgermanrestaurant.com. Welcome back to Image 360 in South Elgin on this Friday afternoon now. Signs, graphics, displays. If you want to give your business 360 degrees of exposure, I'm looking at the brochure here. If you want to stop on by, you can grab a brochure. And they're open until 5 o'clock today. Sundown Drive, South Elgin, just to the west of Route 31. And just to the east of McLean Boulevard, kind of right in between on Sundown Drive on the north side of the street. I think I got all my directions right. Welcome back to the show. We're joined right now by Drew Sosnowski, who's been talking about a couple things coming up at the Elgin Township seminars on the 23rd, the 30th, and we'll touch on those again right at the end of the show. But Drew's also running for state's attorney, right? And that's, yes, sir. That's quite the large title there, Drew. It's something that you really have to make a firm, large commitment, and that's what you're trying to make right now to land that office, right?
Absolutely, Mark. Yes, it's something that I've thought long and hard about. It's a county-wide position, so I'll be running in every county, including Elgin, every city in the county, every city in Kane County.
Right.
And the election is a couple days now, the primary, but I don't have an opponent in the primary. I'm running as the Republican candidate for Kane County State's Attorney. And then there's a general election in November where people can vote any way they want. They don't have to get a ticket. They don't have to ask for a party. They can do it. And I ask people of all parties, this is not really partisan, to vote for me. I'd really appreciate that. And
Yeah.
I can tell you a little bit about myself.
Please.
Sure. Well, I am, as I said, I'm an attorney for 35 years. One of the reasons I'm running is I was a former prosecutor, Mark. Out of the 35 years that I've been in legal practice, about 15 or 16 of those has been a prosecutor. I was a prosecutor for 9 years in Kane County. So right here in our own home county here. I actually was the one that built the program and the actual connections for the Kane County Child Advocacy Center that's here in this county. It still exists. We did that in the mid-90s under the leadership of the state's attorney at the time. He went up to me and said, build the best one, and we did that, and that exists today. They still use that same model today. It's that spirit that I want to bring to the Kane County State's Attorney's Office now. Innovation, particularly when it comes to things like fentanyl crisis,
right?
Things like when we talk about human trafficking, these are all buzzwords, but until you get somebody in there that's a practitioner that wants to do some changes, that's what I'm looking for, to make a program like that. And a lot of this is bringing resources into our county instead of us going somewhere else and asking for it to the federal government. Bring them here so that we can take care of our people here in this county. And that's the spirit that I'm going to be looking at on the state's attorney's office.
Yeah. So Jamie Mosser is currently the state's attorney. She's who you'll be running against, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. So when did you make that decision that you were going to make a run for this?
Well, I made it, I've been thinking about it a long time in my life. It's something that I've thought about giving back to my community in this capacity. It's a tremendous commitment, as you said, to run for a political office. So you have to be ready spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, financially. You have to be ready. And this is the perfect time where all those meet for me. So I want to give back to my community. And how it really, the genesis of this recently was my students, Mark.
Yeah.
So yeah, my students at Aurora University, I teach criminal justice, and we were talking about what a state's attorney is and a prosecutor and the chief prosecutor. And a couple of my kids came up after the class and said, Professor, why don't you run for state's attorney? And I go, well, that's a nice thought,
Yeah.
And they said, so then they come at the next day and they said, Professor, it's November 30th or November 20th. You need to have your petitions in by December 4th.
They knew this, huh?
They knew it. They researched it themselves. They showed me the law. They showed me. I'm like, okay. Well, I said, get me on
that better hustle then.
Yeah.
Huh?
I said, get me on the ballot if you want it. They said, okay. I thought they were just going to, kids, they're not going to do this, but kids are the future of that's all what my campaign is about our future, about our youth, about our children. I have at least 100 students from Aurora and Elgin that are actively involved in my campaign at this time. They want to help. They want to do something to change the community. We hear about the bad things about kids, but they do great things. So they come up to me and they start, I see petitions around, Mark, honestly.
Yeah.
And my name is on there. And I said, what are you guys doing? They said, we're getting you on the ballot. So then I said, I better call somebody and tell them I'm running for state's attorney. So the next thing I know, I called the party and I told them that I'm running. They didn't have a candidate. And the next thing I know, they put me on the ballot. Obviously, community support as well. I think I needed 550 signatures, and I ended up with like 1,500 signatures in a matter of 10 days. So it was spread like fire, and it went really well. So I'm blessed.
Yeah. So let me be a student for a moment then, or for some of the listeners that don't really follow the ins and outs of the different departments in the different areas. What does a state's attorney do? What would be your main job? What does Jamie Mosser do?
The primary function, well, I don't know what she does. I can't answer to her, but the primary function of the state's attorney would be this, Mark. It's to prosecute crime.
Okay.
I mean, it's to keep your streets safe. So law enforcement arrest, and they can't do anything with those individuals unless the prosecution prosecutes them. Back in the 90s and, mid 90s and 2000, when I was a prosecutor, I was pretty tough on, individuals committing criminal acts. They need to be punished, and people don't like to talk about that anymore. But my mantra is swift punishment, but also rehabilitation is part of that process. You can have combined programs that do both, but you can't ignore one and expect individuals to change their behavior. So the primary purpose behind state's attorney's office is to elect individuals who are going to prosecute criminal behavior. And it's really important. I ask your listeners to look me up and find out about me.
Yeah.
Look on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. I have the website, sosnowskiforkane.com. These are, and I have my own law office, but read about me, find out. Don't just take my word for it. Find out what I've done, what boots I've walked in, where I've walked, what I've done. And you'll find that my pedigree is such that from raising children to raising grandchildren to being here in the county, that I have the actual knowledge and the ability to understand our community first and understand what it means to keep the community safe, our children and our families.
What's your website again?
It is Sosnowski, which is common spelling.
Yes.
Yeah. It's SOSN as in Nancy, OWSKI, FORKANE.com. Now, one of the great things about that name is you'll never forget it when you see it.
Yeah.
But you won't remember it either.
Right. Well, that's how I would spell it, though. SOSNOW now. Ski, SKI, right?
Exactly. Sosnowski, that's very exactly right. And I used to, when I was a kid, I used to run from that name, but now I've learned to embrace it, and I'm proud to have that name with me.
Well, we don't have a lot of time to talk about debates right now and the hot topics. We only have about 3-4 minutes left on the show, but I would imagine one of the big things that has gone down in the last year or so has been the Safety Act. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure you're probably reviewing a lot of the numbers on, and is there a way to study what kind of an impact the Safety Act has had so far, and do you have any just general quick feelings on it?
Well, I do, and the thing about it is I have student committees, and it's great to have a plethora of students who really want to learn. So I have a committee that does actual policy. So they're looking at how the changes of the Safety Act has affected community safety. And so we're going to come out with some of that positioning later on. And that's really important to look at. But one of the things I got to say is a lot of times programs are created by individuals, and then they love to be the ones that change it and make it better. So they're changing what they created bad. And that's what's happening with the Safety Act. You have people up there, the Democratic Party, that's very progressive ones in Chicago. And Democrats here are not the same as Chicago, but they invented this law, and then they look at the Democrats to actually help it. So it's very, very strange how politics works. I'm finding that out. But the bottom line is there's a lot of problems with the Safety Act. And it's not just the catch and release stuff where we talk about, but there's other things that handcuff police from doing certain things to arrest people. They can't do certain things, and if they do, they're going to be arrested themselves.
Right.
We see that, and then they become vilified, and it's defunded. This is a slippery slope. So one of the things I'm in this for too is to stop that slippery slope. We can't have that kind of mantras being screamed out in our community. We're better than that.
Yeah, and then when you have the vilification, you start to have morale of the police departments being a lot lower.
Terrible.
And when the morale is lower, and you are a police officer, and there's an offense that you should make an arrest for, but you know that individual is going to get right out. Sometimes you probably ask yourself, why? Why should I even do this?
And that,
right?
Mark, that is such a good point, because particularly when I have law enforcement students that want to be cops, I've had so many kids, this is a scary thing, come up to me and say, I don't even know if I want to be a law enforcement officer anymore. This is our future. We need these kids to keep our community safe. We need them to have the same kind of desire to do this that our families did and our ancestors did. We're losing it. And it's things like the Safety Act. It's things like vilification of police. It's things that make our communities less safe. There's reasons behind it, but if you look at the reason, it's like killing an ant with a sledgehammer, and we've got to keep the number one thing is our communities and families safe. That's number one.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being here today. Again, the Kane County Health Department is putting on, with the 708 board from the township, this event going on a week from Saturday, March the 23rd at 1:30 at the Elgin Township, 729 South McLean Boulevard. Learn how to save someone's life that's maybe suffering from an opioid overdose, and to get Narcan while you're there that day, right?
Absolutely. They will be giving it out for free. This is all free, everything.
And then the second event you wanted to mention, and you did mention earlier, was the following week.
Yes, the 30th, which is, what do you do when you get a ticket? So those things, and you're going to have a bunch of Elgin people there to tell you.
And that's on the 30th at 9:30, also at the Elgin Township Building.
Correct.
847-741-2045 to RSVP. Image 360 is where we have been today. Thanks to Lisa and Matt for having us. Lots of people here if you want to swing by. They're open until about 5 o'clock this afternoon. And I guess every day until Monday through Friday from 5 o'clock this afternoon. By being on the radio this hour, you and I have been unable to partake in that food over there. I hope it's not all gone, Drew.
Better not be.
Yeah. Well, thanks for taking the time out of your busy schedule right now to come join me.
Yes, thank you, Mark.
And be a part of it.
And thank you to your listeners. Please get to know me, I say. Please get to know me.
We'll be talking to you more between now and the election time.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to come back, sir.
Okay, live from Image 360. We're wrapping things up. Everybody have a great weekend. Coming up next is hour 2, though, of our show, so stick around. Sonar's got the second hour of Out to Lunch on WRMN, and I'll be back Monday morning at 6 a.m. with the first shift right here on WRMN. Have a great weekend.
Great, thank you.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 1 o'clock.
And welcome to WRMN 1410, right there on the YouTube live as well. WRMN Radio, if you're searching for things like that. My name is Dennis Green, and I am here with the second hour of Out to Lunch. Out to Lunch, the show for WRMN, has been actually out and about in the world, out and about in Out to Lunch land. Yesterday, we went to the Elgin Public House. You can find that live stream on our YouTube page as well, youtube.com/@WRMN Radio. And we just got back from Image 360 at 506 Sundown Drive in South Elgin. There's a ribbon cutting that just went over there. Hopefully there's a few more sandwiches that are available. And go see them. Go check out all of the different things and the different printing and wrapping and signage and everything else that Image 360 can do. Our place that we were just at, 506 Sundown Drive. Welcome again to the show. On this show, we try to give you all of the different voices that are here on WRMN 1410. If you'd like to give me a call, you want to call into Studio 14, that is 847-931-1410. I would read it off of my coffee-stained, laminated one sheet, but I think Leah walked off with it. And if you missed Leah, oh my goodness, go ahead and refresh back to that YouTube page. You get one-on-one with Leah on Fridays. I got to be part of the one-on-one. I guess I was one of the ones. But we talked a lot about where you can find more information about the radio shopping side. And, of course, you guessed it, it was WRMN1410.com all along. Good job. Score some points. I know you, those are playing at home, go ahead and put 5 points down on your scorecard. If you want to go ahead and visit the Redemption Center, that is open right now. It won't open again until Monday, but we are going to go live again with Leah on Saturday, tomorrow, from 8 to 12. And then, of course, we've got Mario J. Bell and a couple of our other local programming that's on the weekends. If you want to come in and enjoy this amazing, beautiful day here at WRMN, come down to Douglas. Come down to 14, which is where the studio is. And if you want to hang out in the Redemption Center, that would be 16 Douglas. And while you're there, go ahead and talk to Matt. Leah is outside as well. Talk to all of our radio shopping hosts that we've got. Pick up a gift certificate, even if you don't want to go to WRMN1410.com to look at those gift certificates. Go ahead and come in. Just talk with us. What do you want? What are you looking for? What type of things do you do? I don't know the entire inventory yet, so almost daily I go over there and bother Matt and go, Matt, what can I get for lunch? Where are the lunch specials? What can I get for this day? What can I have for this lunch? And he knows everything that's on the list forward and back, and so does Leah as well. So go ahead and come and talk with them. Again, if you want to talk with me today here on the studio, I'll be here for the remainder of the hour. And then we've got Straight Talk Money on right after that. Straight Talk Money helping you learn the wisdom of Wall Street. But you can give me a call right now, and I'll tell you the topic of what we are going to talk about right after I give you this phone number, 847-931-1410. Again, Studio 14 line, 847-931-1410. 1410, because that's right, we are WRMN 1410. So let's go into today's topic. There's something special about today. Today has a specific name, if you didn't know. Yesterday was Pi Day, 3.14, right? 3.14, it's the only digits that we actually remember. I don't know the rest of them. Pi is a radical, so it will always have a different number combination and never repeats. That's what a radical is. Or if you want to be a traditionalist, 22/7 is pi, not necessarily 3.14. It gets us close enough to where we're not having to remember at least 5, 6, 7, or an infinite number of digits. So Pi Day was yesterday. That makes today the Ides of March. You ever hear that before? The Ides of March. Beware of the Ides of March. Beware, beware. If you ever heard the name Julius Caesar, if you ever heard the name William Shakespeare, Brutus, Cassius, all of the different names, all the way back from 44 BCE. The Ides of March, back in the day, back in the BC era of the Romans, they didn't have days. They didn't just say, hey, here's the first, the second, the third, the fourth, et cetera, et cetera. They essentially counted the days based off of the beginning and the Ides. And then they would count down from that. And the Ides of March is the middle. Most of the time, the Ides of March are on the 13th. But the Ides of March, May, July, and October are all the 15th. Everybody else is the 13th, is what they used to do. And essentially what they would do is they would count the first day, right? Calends is what it is. Calends is the first thing. Maybe is where we get the name calendar as well. Well, you know what? There's lots of etymologic type of learning that we should all be paying attention to. But essentially, the calends was the first of the month. And you counted down from the Ides, which was the middle of the month, down to the first of the month for the next month. Then about a couple days later into the week after calends, about the 5th, the 7th, maybe even as far as the 8th day, you would have the nones, Nones, and then the nones would then another week or so would pass by and you're back to the Ides. Well, why are the Ides of March particularly important? Well, if you've ever read the play Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare, or know a little bit about history for Julius Caesar, Julius was warned. The Caesar was warned and said, hey, beware those Ides of March. That is when something bad is going to happen. Oh, no, soothsayer, you're full of it, essentially is what Julius said. And sure enough, the Ides of March, over 60 senators conspired to stab him, which then turns around with the phrase, tu, Brute, and even essentially that's translated from Latin into, you too, Brutus, everybody else, and you, and my best friend Brutus, going to be right here. Have you ever had somebody give you some information? Maybe somebody warned you and said, don't do that thing. You don't want to be doing that thing. That's going to come back to bite you. Now, I'm not saying that they put a specific date down. We're not all soothsayers. We're not all people that can just predict everything that goes. But there are some times where you don't heed the advice of somebody and you have to beware. Maybe they would be right. We all get that. We turn around and say, oh, my goodness, I'm going to be this. I'm going to be an astronaut one day. And then somebody turns around and says, you know, it's really hard to be an astronaut. Maybe you won't be an astronaut. Maybe you try and try and try. Or, you know, those people that jinx you, right? You're saying, oh, well, don't worry about it. We talked about Leah with the flat tires and things earlier today. So maybe that's the issue, where you turn around, you got a flat tire, and you go, you know, or the tire's starting to go down, or you hear a funky noise in the engine, and you turn around and you say, you know what, I've got a couple more days, and somebody goes, no, you don't, and you know right there at that moment that person just made sure that you aren't going to be okay. They jinxed you. So is that kind of what happened with Caesar? I don't know. I think Caesar was already, I guess, having conspirators against him even before the soothsayer said anything. Maybe the soothsayer knew something. Maybe it was kind of a warning of change your attitude, Julius, or we won't be able to help you. And it's coming. Ides of March right there. That's it. 315, the Ides of March. We're going to take a quick break right here on WRMN 1410. If you want to join the conversation, if you want to talk about something, if you want to shop on the radio shopping side, make sure you go to WRMN1410.com. Or if you want to give me a call, 847-931-1410. We'll see you on the other side.
If you are 50 years and older, you are welcome to join Elgin State Bank's sponsored movie days at Elgin Marcus Theater. It will always be on the second Thursday of each month. Doors open at 8:30 a.m. At 9 a.m., you will hear a very brief message from Sherry Aschenbrenner about upcoming senior events, and movies will begin at approximately 9:30 a.m. Coffee and a donut is complimentary. You can always call the movie theater hotline number of 847-888-7976 to find out what movies are playing each month. The cost is $3 if you are a member of Elgin State Bank, meaning you have an account there, and $5 if you are a non-member. And for more senior information, catch Sherry's Senior Showcase on the third Tuesday of every month at 9:15 a.m. right here on WRMN, AM 1410 and 96.7 FM. Come see the only train-themed restaurant where all the seating is on the tracks. Two Toots Train Whistle Grill on Main Street in both Bartlett and Glen Ellen is always fun and always fresh. Two Toots Train Whistle Grill serves 100% grass-fed beef hot dogs and burgers. There's also chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, and more, all loaded up on two Lionel O scale trains and delivered directly to your seat. No one sits away from the fun, regardless of age. When a train arrives delivering your food, you'll smile ear to ear. Visit twotoots.com. For many years, Italian Pizza Kitchen in Roselle has been serving quality and excellence. Italian Pizza Kitchen is family-owned with experience in preparing authentic Italian cuisine with the freshest, highest quality ingredients since the 50s. Your food is always prepared fresh with the same traditions, recipes, and standards that they've perfected over the years. Italian Pizza Kitchen has a passion for great cuisine and customer service. Visit ItalianPizzaKitchen.com. One of the things we're proud of at WRMN is our connection to the local community. In fact, recently we hosted a fundraiser for a longtime listener, Gene Wheeler, and first shift listener George Rollinson says it turned out perfectly.
Perfection is a moving target. You try to hit that bullseye and you zone in on it. It moves a little to the left and it moves a little to the right. I don't know. I'd say we hit a bullseye. I don't know how that could have been any better.
Working together to make Elgin better. We are WRMN AM 1410, serving the local community since 1949.
Columbia College of Missouri Elgin campus is intent in their commitment to open doors and support those who strive for excellence. Too many people have been made to feel that higher education isn't a place for them, that it is someone else's dream. But Columbia College of Missouri has changed all that. With individualized attention and ongoing support, Columbia College knows a future built by you is a future built for you. Columbia College of Missouri Elgin campus, your new starts now. Visit ccis.edu.
Warm up this winter and introduce your friends to Viator Coffee at the Food Hall in downtown Elgin. Viator Coffee has a winter menu that includes 6 new coffee drinks with names like Little Wolf, Tartan Tonic, and Merry Mint Mocha. Plus, there's a whole new lineup of baked goods too. Viator Coffee provides you with amazing flavors and customer service, so relax and savor a cup in a place that offers a new level of coffee drinks and service within a peaceful, relaxing space. Visit ViatorCoffeeCart.com.
When you need your banker, they should be ready to put you first. At Wintrust, you can have the banking experience you need and the one you deserve. Ready for a change? We've made it even easier. Our new sophisticated online platform makes opening accounts a breeze, but our bankers are always here for you. Open a new Total Access checking account in minutes at wintrust.com/fast. Plus, get $300.
$100 required to open. Requirements to qualify. Must use link to apply.
Member FDIC.
Welcome back to WRMN 1410 News Talk Radio, the voice of the valley, the talk of the town, and the home of radio shopping. That's right, the home of radio shopping. Not going anywhere. All your certificates are good to go, and even the ones that you think you might want to get, you can go ahead and find them at WRMN1410.com. We've got a caller for the first segment coming back from the break. Hello, caller. Thank you for being here with us today.
Hi, good afternoon. 101-455.
Oh, I am terribly sorry. I'm going to give you a different number to call. Matt will be able to help you out absolutely for your radio shopping side. I don't have it sitting in front of me right now. Yeah, it's 741-7700. Matt McNeil will be right there on the other side. If you are looking at being on the air later, we will have Radio Shopping Show at 3 o'clock right on the button.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Hello, caller. You're on the air. Thank you for talking, and thank you for being here with us in Studio 14.
Hi, Sonar. My name is Scott. I enjoy your show. We chatted last week sometime. So what'd you think of, I know you're busy at your studio, about Fannie Willis?
Oh, my goodness. How did you know what I wanted to talk about over the next segment?
I got ESP. I'm happy to see that. I am a non-Trumper.
That's it. Well, that's okay. You know what? You don't have to necessarily be a never or an always, right? We can't be dealing in absolutes, man. It's hard. It's hard to say that. If you say, well, now there should be some things in absolute. I'm never going to stick a pin in my eye, things like that. Yeah. But as far as ideas and things, I try to take that that dogma approach. You ever see that, the Kevin Smith movie? Chris Rock talks about it in there, and he says it's a lot easier to change an idea. It's really, really hard to change a belief. So that same kind of thing. And look, I'm as purple as they come. Yeah, sure, I might have a little tinge of blue to me, but at the end of the day, I'm going to call it as I see it, regardless of what color jersey the political side has it. Fannie Willis with this, they essentially have asked either Fannie steps down, or the gentleman. What is Watt? I think is. Wade. Wade is it? I knew it was a 4-letter word somewhere in there, but
like the old Dwayne Wade played for the Miami Heat.
Oh, there you go. That's exactly it. So essentially, what has happened is one of those two need to step down. So Fulton County District Attorney Fannie Willis was ordered to recuse herself from the Georgia election in case involving Donald Trump, or remove the special prosecutor due to their prior romantic relationship, ruled by Judge Scott McAfee. Judge McAfee did not determine the relationship as a conflict of interest, disqualifying Willis, but acknowledged an appearance of impropriety affecting the prosecution team. What do you think about that, Scott? Obviously, this is a view. This is an appearance. This is it there? Now, I don't think that just because my prosecutor was involved with somebody that you should drop my charges. I think that's ridiculous. But
so
go ahead.
Kind of look at. I'm a conservative Democrat.
Yeah.
I'm a strong believer in faith. I attend my church, so I'm a Christian, but I'm not a Trump Christian. And in my thoughts, like I think I told you, I did radio for many years. I'm a very conservative station, and you got to hear both sides of the story. And my Christian friends, who for some reason they worship Mr. Trump, but you have to look at the real picture. Okay, not to bring up religion in this conversation, but God is against adultery. God, is against people who lie. And all these cases, Sonar, that are coming up, whether it's the fraud case, when he slept with a porn star while his son Barron was being born. You can go on and on. These are not fake news. This is reality. I mean, Joe Biden makes a lot of mistakes. I'm not a Biden fan. I think he's too old. I think he's done a decent job to this point. The Republicans won't do that. And I was on the era when Bush was there, and I look back now in a crystal ball and think that George W. Bush, I look at him now, he's a decent man. I didn't agree with his politics, the Iraq War, so and so. Yes, you know what I'm saying? But he's a decent man. I don't think there's anything decent about the orange guy.
Well, you're absolutely there. We've turned our politics into a cult of personality. That's because it's easy. It's easy to turn around and just say, this guy's good, that guy's bad. I don't need to think anymore. I don't need to go in any deeper. And that's, I think, where we've kind of, and we talked about it earlier in the week about the one source that you get your information from. Back in the day, it was Cronkite, right? We all turned around, or everybody.
Yesterday, Cronkite and Dan Rather.
Exactly. Everybody turned around and said, "This is the guy that I can trust. This is what it is." And where I think that is it made us complacent with our own critical thinking. So here's the thing: you can either change the message. So I can either ban people from talking about stuff and essentially cut out the First Amendment, or I can double down and say, no, we need to teach people critical thinking. So it doesn't matter. What you don't want to do is you don't want to step on people's rights. And everybody has a right to say whatever.
Freedom of speech.
Absolutely.
I'm totally in favor of our rights and this and that. But it's just that I literally have lost friends. Yeah. I used to attend a Bible study at my church. I can't go there anymore because these people are they're good people, and I don't want to say anything bad about a Christian. But you have to look, I always say, read the good book to these people and read it good.
Yeah. Well, and find and figure out where it is. See, I'm one of those people that I don't care what you believe, just believe it. So if you're going to turn around and tell me that this is what I believe, these are the practices that I follow, and then turn around and disregard them, I don't care. I could turn around and say that I love Harry Potter and I follow the words of J.K. Rowling and everything else. And I could turn around and say, this is how we treat people. This is how it goes. But if I turn around and say, well, I'm part of Lord Voldemort's side and I'm going to follow Lord Voldemort wherever he goes. Well, hold on a second. You've obviously missed the point of the book. So that's a lot of what this is. And I think we talked about it before, is also siloing everything. So all you've heard, to take it back to Fonnie Willis of what we were talking about here, is it's that perception, it's that thing, I'm able to, as a political commentator, I'm able to take that one weird thing and then never give you any more context. Is say, nope, this is it. They had the affair, they had everything, and this is obviously insider whatever you want to do. I mean, but if I'm the only person that's listening to that one single thing and I don't take any other opinions to heart or even listen to any other opinions, this is what's going to happen. Now, my issue is I take up the banner against hypocrisy. I don't care if you look, believe whatever you want to. You want to be a blue hat, a red hat, a green hat, a yellow hat, whatever you want to do. If you want to be a Christian, if you want to be a Catholic, if you want to be a Muslim, if you want to be a Buddhist, if you're going to tell me that that's what you believe and those are the ideals that you follow, when you don't follow those ideals, I'm going to call you on it. I mean, you want to take it back to the Bible, look at Matthew. Matthew has a lot of different things in Matthew where we talk about how we're supposed to check and balance each other. Even in Matthew, it says that if you do not follow, if my brother does not follow, yes, I'm supposed to remove the plank from my own eye before the speck of the other. But it says in there, I believe in chapter 5, I am to rebuke you. I am to call you out on your hypocrisy. That is what I have been charged to do as a Christian, according to Matthew. That is what's in there. And
well,
go ahead.
That's a good point. In getting back to Fannie Willis, I was not really impressed with her. I think she was very rude.
Yes.
I think on Stan. I mean, I call it the way it was. That's go back to my talk radio roots. I try to tell it the way it is. She came off very unprofessional. Very.
Yes.
I don't want to use this word.
Indignant.
I didn't. Yeah, she didn't come off in a professional as a lawyer. That being said, what business is it of anybody that she had an affair? Donald J. Trump cheated on first three wives, slept with a porn star while his son Barron was being born. So let's call it the way it is. You know what I'm saying? She's not the one that's on trial. Donald J. Trump is on trial.
Exactly. Well, and that's the thing, too, is you want to make sure that a high political figure or a high public figure like this has every avenue for it, because you know that the real game is delay. Delay. That's the real game. It's the way it's always been. I mean, anybody who's got any kind of money, it's delay. And a lot of that is because they can post bail and they don't have to delay and sit in jail with it. So the other game is appeal. What can we do to appeal this? And essentially that's just another form of delay. So what a lot of this is it's a projection as it goes as well. But at the end of the day, it is not a very good thing to be. I mean, when you want to turn, and back to that hypocrisy, if I want to turn around and say that I am righteous, I am the top, I am the end all be all, and this is what I am, and raise yourself up on that high horse, expect to be beaten down, whether you are a former president or a public figure DA. And this is the issue with that whole holier than thou, I'm more righteous than you are. I mean, that's in no way humility. And you're right. In that briefing, when she was being grilled, it wasn't dignity. It was, hey, why are you coming after me? I didn't do anything wrong. And it's like, well, wait a minute. You may not have done anything legally wrong, but morality aside, that's where the perception comes in. So here's the question I've got for you, Scott, is if they are going to turn around and just berate Fani about the improprietary or the appearance of improprietary, the quote that Justice Judge McAfee put in there, where do we draw the line at the Supreme Court? If we're going to have the appearance of things that are wrong, where does the Supreme Court come in with that?
Right now it's obviously to the right. They put their hand on the Bible. They should not give Trump the ticket, the free ticket. Do what you're supposed to do. Look at the evidence. No, I mean, there's on the left. I mean, this Mendez in New Jersey is a crook. I mean, so it's on both sides.
Oh, Menendez's gold. Yeah, Ben and I have been following Menendez's gold, the saga of Menendez's gold with
and
this.
His daughter is a very attractive. She's got a show on CNBC, and and it's not, at least that's not affecting her. Her communications talent to being a TV personality, but so it's on both sides of the fence.
Absolutely.
Like Howard Stern said. I don't know if you're a Stern fan.
Yeah.
He had Trump on many times in the 80s and the 90s, and when he went down that the escalator with Melania, the first one to call. I don't think a lot of people noticed. The first one to call. To put on that, it was June of 2015. First one he called was Stern, and Stern said, "Donald, you've been my friend for many years. Do not run for president. You're going to get yourself in trouble. You're known as a con man cheat in New York, and you can get away with it. You go national, and you're going to be in deep. I won't, SH blah blah blah." And everything Stern says is the truth.
Yeah.
Everything.
And that's where
the kingpin of New York, along with Rudy, the Rudy rat. But you start going national, what goes around comes around.
Exactly. And what goes around comes around is the, I believe the kids call it mess around and find out, right? That's essentially what it is. And if you look at it, it's back to the hypocrisy that we have in our government in general. So you want to turn around and say, I'm like you. I'm going to hold my nose and I'm going to eat my lima beans in Biden. That's what I'm going to do. That's because what I feel morally obligated to do. Now, by all means, everybody's got their own thing, and we welcome anybody else that wants to call in 847-931-1410 to join that conversation. But essentially, it's back to that hypocrisy where. For the biggest issue for me with the running of the candidates is this is the same thing that happened in 2016, where they turned around and the Democratic Party said, nope, this is our candidate. And if you don't like it, go vote for him. And so that's what they've done now, even though both candidates are in the low 30s of approval, and that's being nice to them.
Yeah, no, it is what it is.
The Supreme Court is in that same thing. And the issue that I have with being forced once again to not actually have a delegate that we actually vote for, because honestly, Hillary Clinton was kind of shoved in by the DNC to begin with. And we can talk about maybe some backdoor deal with her and Obama and whatever else. But essentially, the DNC shoved Hillary in front of us. And because we were forced.
Basically, Obama would have been Biden the torch in 2016, but losing his son in 2015 decided not.
Yeah, he didn't want to run. He wasn't in the headspace to even think about that.
Right.
And so what happened was they shunned Bernie. They shunned all of these other people, Cornel West and everyone else that's in it. And what I don't like about it is if you're going to turn around and talk to me about freedom of speech, freedom of democracy, and democracy is dying, it needs to be changed, then let me vote. Then let me vote for the actual president that we want. And then by all means, if Biden wins the Democratic president or delegacy and he makes it to the general election, at least we all said it was a fair fight and this is what happened. When you turn around and before they even start, they say, this is my guy, this is what we're going to do. It's a whole different side.
I'll leave you with that. That's a good point. I serve this country, and this is for all the wonderful veterans that are listening. Now, they probably won't agree with me because I'm more on the left. I serve this country for a reason, okay? Captain Bone Spurs came out and said, those veterans are losers and suckers. Why would I or any wonderful vet vote for a guy like Donald J. Trump, who is a draft dodger and got off because he had money? I mean, this is the truth.
Yeah, the facts are there, and obviously we're biased by pointing them out. But I appreciate you calling in, Scott.
Sonar.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you for listening. Anybody that wants to come in, anybody that wants to talk, absolutely. Brian chimed in on YouTube. Well, that didn't take long. Purple is just a different shade of blue. You can't play both sides anymore. Way to alienate your listeners. Well, I'll tell you, with that same kind of logic, purple is just a different shade of red. And that's essentially where we are. The issue is not blue versus... The issue is not blue versus red. That's what they want you to have. They want you to have blue versus red because now we're fighting amongst each other. Oh, well, I've got this jersey and you've got that jersey and we've got everything going on. At the end of the day, it is us, the citizens, sitting here against the political side of it. And that's where it comes in. And by all means, tune into Charlie Kirk or Ben Shapiro or any of the other people or the flavor of politics that you have for it. What I plan to do anytime somebody talks to me about politics is open the forum. Let's have a conversation. Let's have free speech as it goes. Now, if I just want to listen to the same free speech over and over again, by all means, that is your prerogative. That is your choice. You don't have to listen to anybody that comes over. But I want to have a discussion. I want to have a back and forth. Why do you believe that? What do you believe? is there a fact that supports your belief with it? By all means, let's talk about it. Let's get it together with it. And yes, I understand that purple is a different shade of blue, but so is purple being a different shade of red. The issue is that most of Americans, just like Scott, just like me, just like most of the people that you will meet, they are a different shade of purple. Are they more red than one side? Yes. But most people in America are socially progressive, but fiscally conservative. So if that's where we are in America, that's where we are on either side of whatever we're going to do over here, let's have a conversation about the policies. Now, we could talk all day about this person does this and that person does that and everything else, but what are the policies? The issue, going back to our cult of personality, is that it is a cult of personality, is one person. If you want to turn around and say this person does a really good job and that's why I want to vote for him and that's why I want them to be president again, why does it have to be that particular person? Why can't the party pull everything up and actually have policies? That's all I'm asking for, is let's go to policies instead of personality. If you want to call in, if you want to be part of the conversation, to join us in the last 15 minutes or so of the segment, I've got more news. They're essentially talking about how snakes can now be a sustainable meat for us. There are lots of other things in the news right here in the Ides of March. I wish I got the warning, but right here, WRMN 1410, WRMN1410.com if you want to know some more information. We'll be right back after this.
As the Elgin Police Department continues to participate in the Distracted Driving campaign, they wanted to share some tips from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration website regarding safe driving. If you are expecting a text or need to send one, pull over and park your car in a safe location. Once you are safely off the road and parked, it's safe to text. Designate your passenger as your designated texter. Allow them to access your phone to respond to calls or messages. Do not engage in social media scrolling or messaging while driving. Are you struggling not to text and drive? Activate your phone's Do Not Disturb feature or put your cell phone in the trunk, the glove box, or the back seat of your vehicle until you arrive at your destination. Remember, the Elgin Police are conducting directed patrols to enforce distracted driving violations. Just drive and stay safe. A message from our friends at the Elgin Police Department and your friends here at WRMN AM 1410 and 96.7 FM. Good wine and food bring people together. Vine and Plate Wine Bar and Provisions serves globally inspired plates and wines from around the world, bringing people together and creating moments that focus on what life is all about. Vine and Plate offers shared plates, flatbreads, sandwiches, and salads. You can choose wines from everywhere, and there's an extensive whiskey list too. Ingredients matter, quality matters, every detail matters. Visit thevineandplate.com today.
Dine out with family and friends at Nick's Pizza in Elgin or Crystal Lake. Nick serves up award-winning thin crust and Chicago-style pizza. Eat in or carry out. In addition to Nick's fabulous pizza, let Nick's cater your events with pizza, pasta, Italian beef, and other delicious offerings. Their big banquet rooms can accommodate all your event needs. So, for great pizza in a Northwoods, cabin-style atmosphere, bring family and friends to Nick's. Visit nickspizzapub.com.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Come see the only train-themed restaurant where all the seating is on the tracks. Two Toots Train Whistle Grill on Main Street in both Bartlett and Glen Ellen is always fun and always fresh. Two Toots Train Whistle Grill serves 100% grass-fed beef hot dogs and burgers. There's also chicken nuggets, mac and cheese, and more, all loaded up on 2 Lionel O-scale trains and delivered directly to your seat. No one sits away from the fun, regardless of age. When a train arrives delivering your food, you'll smile ear to ear. Visit twotoots.com.
Welcome back to WRMN 1410 AM, WRMN1410.com. If you want to check out the radio shopping show, lots and lots of information over there. If you want to buy anything on the radio shopping show, you can call right now. The Redemption Center is open until 3. That's 847-741-7700. But Sonar, what if I want to come and see somebody? Well, that's 16 Douglas right here in Elgin, right next to the studio where I'm sitting right now with the amazing executive producer extraordinaire. That would be Ben Demonium Boquest. Thank you, sir, for being here.
Hey, thanks for having me on, man. Awesome. Out to lunch last
Yeah, how
segment.
was it? It was fun, right?
Amazing. Yeah, a great ribbon cutting at 360 Image.
Mm-hmm. They had sandwiches, though, right?
Of course.
Did you get that sandwich?
Beautifully catered by the local Mariani's.
Oh, okay.
I believe.
Well, it's fun.
Yeah, great spread, great crowd. They had a great ceremony. Everything was great. It was really cool to meet some of the people, the Elginites. I'm an Illinois boy myself. I'm born and raised in Palatine. Good Shepherd Hospital. What up?
Hey-o.
I'm aware of the familiar with the area, and always Elgin's known for its great downtown area, and that the industrial park is just thriving as well. I got to meet a bunch of cool people, and do that the sweet live remote with Marky B.
Yeah, because you were doing the remote, I don't have a camera for you yet, so you'll just be a disembodied voice.
That's fine. Google me. Google me.
And if you want to Google Ben Boquest, go ahead and find Ben Demonium right there on the old Twitter or the X Twitter and all of that. There's another Ben out there that somebody mentioned earlier, Ben Shapiro. And you know what? I don't want to leave anybody out. I want to make sure that Ben Shapiro gets his message out. Ben Shapiro has said in a number of days this week, no one in the United States should be retiring at 65 years old. Shapiro, who's 40, told his 1 million plus subscribers, frankly, I think retirement itself is a stupid idea unless you have some sort of health problems. Is that the type of message that you want to give to your listeners?
You know what that sounds like to me, Sonar? Some BS news.
Some BS news right there. And on Social Security, for whose future is now arguably at the heart of the presidential campaign, he said, just on a fiscal level and a logical level, when Franklin Delano Roosevelt established 65 as the retirement age, the average life expectancy of the United States was 63 years old. Today, the average life expectancy in the United States is close to 80. The idea that you should be able to retire at 65 and receive Social Security benefits for another 20 years is, quote, crazy talk and totally insane, says Ben Shapiro. This is all from Market Watch. If you want to check out Market Watch has a high factuality on Ad Fontes media and leans just a little pink. Light red. I don't want to emasculate anybody.
Stick to the primaries.
But it runs a little light red. So, I mean, if that's the message that you want to listen to, and those are the people that you follow, then by all means, we can do Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, it sounds like crazy framing to me. Like what I would like to believe that Ben Shapiro is thinking there, that people should want to work. People should not maybe enjoy, but at least be fulfilled by their job until they should never want to stop doing it.
Still contribute to society.
Exactly.
I understand that aspect of
working
it.
towards that, the way that straight up raising the retirement age now, it doesn't do anything except make people who need to keep working work even harder longer. So
and they talk about Social Security, about how it's also falling apart and there isn't enough funding behind it. Do you know why there's not enough funding behind it, Ben?
It's because of
because they take it out first off. They do a Jimmy Hoffa with it, and they remove the money out of the account and say, you know what, we'll put it back eventually. They take it out of the pension, right? They do the Jimmy Hoffa
the margins,
aspect of
the
it.
dividends.
Exactly. Then what they do is they also cap the tax on it. If you make over $400,000 a year, your Social Security tax stops. If we were to just remove that cap, I mean, I don't know too many people that make $400,000 a year. If you make $400,000 a year, you are technically in, I think, the top 5% of
that's the president. President makes
exactly
$400K.
So if you make over $400,000, every dollar after that $400,000 is not taxed for Social Security anymore.
Yeah.
If you remove that, Social Security will be funded probably for the next 75 years.
How's that for purple?
Right? That's all I mean. Is there's a reason why we have these programs. The reason that Roosevelt put these things together is because what is the alternative?
Yeah, at that point in time, it was crisis mode for the population.
Yes, absolutely.
As far as depression and just being able to make ends meet.
When FDR put together the New Deal and all of these social programs for everything, the only other option was French Revolution style.
Yeah.
Like that's it. That's what a lot of people don't understand. A long time ago, we all agreed that you can't just go and drag your boss out of his house and beat him in front of his family. Because that's what they did.
Society.
That's what they did.
Naturally, that's where society leads.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what you don't want to do. And I take it to that same point, man, is when you turn around and you say, well, I don't believe in the justices and these courts are there and I don't believe the government does this. What's the alternative?
It's always been, you must give the people what they want. And if you don't,
that's a democracy right there, right?
Democracy.
So, but that's it. I'm not saying that I advocate violence or anything like that, because I don't. I want you to all. If I fight you in any kind of physical altercation, it's because I've ran out of words and I'm a big dummy. Is really how I look at it.
A true self-defense.
Exactly. So let's use our words. Let's talk to each other. Let's figure everything out as it goes. So I absolutely get it. I get this whole polarization. I get this whole them versus me, left versus right, us and those, and red and blue, and all of that other side of it. But we're not all drawing lines in the sand. Most of us are multiple different ways that we do it. Right there, you turn around and say, look, Social Security, right? Oh, well, I'm not a socialist. Socialism is bad. What is Social Security?
Right.
It's in the, oh, well, I paid for it. It's taxed. Hello? Hello?
We all love security. I mean, who doesn't want security? Are you part of a society?
And that's what I mean. Is I absolutely understand. I don't want to be taxed more. I understand the libertarian side of it. I even understand the crazy ANCAPs. I understand ANCAPs, anarchist capitalists, if you want to know that designation. But essentially, I understand it. A capitalistic, laissez-faire society should raise everything up. The issue is it's not feasible. Just like a pure communism isn't feasible.
Yeah.
Just like a pure socialism isn't feasible. You have to have shades of everything.
It's the thing I always say is capitalism, it's so natural in every society. There's going to be people selling goods and services and wares and what have you. But socialism is the thing that takes coordination of a community. And it's not the kind of thing that just is gonna naturally grow and be rampant like capitalism sometimes becomes when it's the only thing thought about. And that's why, we were talking about FDR and that great time in American history. It's like it was a necessity at that time to create social services because they've been laxed for so long.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those things you just got to be. It's a good thing, but like everything else, if you have all socialism, that's bad too.
Yes.
Like it's a balance. So
well, and thank you for watching, Sandy. Producer Ben is Ben Boquest. If you type multi-format network as well, Ben Demonium is his Twitter handle if you want to find it there. I am at Sonic Engineer, but I'm all over the internet. Dennis Sonar Green if you want to do it from there. But you're absolutely right. It's Ben. It's back to what we've talked about before. Of the societal help of everything is you can't turn around and say, and that's what I always get, especially to take it from this Social Security side. You paid into it. Congratulations, you paid into it. Mm-hmm. You were taxed to get that benefit.
Yeah.
And if you look at even health care at this point, a universal health care, yes, will raise your taxes. Sorry, it's going to. But you will pay less in the taxes that are raised than you pay right now in the private side.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the math that works out.
Yeah.
So we're back to deals, right? We're back to where can I save $1? Where can I put things together? A single payer that is taxed for everything, you will put out less dollars and go. We only got a couple more minutes here. We really appreciate everybody listening. Go ahead, Ben, and give us your final thoughts.
So the argument against that is that with the single-payer system and everything, that care quality is going to go down, which I don't believe.
Well, the quality isn't even there anyway. We can
Right.
claim all day that America has the best quality. We definitely spend the most.
Yeah.
Than anybody else.
Right. And with the single payer system, it would still be there.
Yes.
So
and look at what's happened with the government stepping in. $30 insulin.
Mm-hmm.
Right there.
Yeah.
Being able for Medicare to negotiate. Because that was the other thing, too. It was just, this was the price, Medicare.
Yeah.
Pay whatever you want to.
You need to bring back common sense.
Exactly. So the issue is yes, socialism is not the end of the game. Neither is capitalism. You have to have a blend of things, just like you have to have a blend of red and blue, because we all are that way.
Mm-hmm.
I know right now, somebody who's listening to me right now, who's a fiscal conservative, red hat, this is what I do, knows an LGBTQ person. Has somebody in their family that's an LGBTQ person.
Mm-hmm.
Has somebody who is collecting Social Security in their life.
Sure.
That's all I'm saying is we are, whether or not you want to realize it, we are all different shades of purple. Thank you for listening to Out to Lunch. If you want more political stuff, we can definitely do that for you. I didn't necessarily want to get this deep into it, but again, you want to bring the conversation, I'm here to have it.
Love it.
We appreciate everybody for listening. We appreciate the Image 360 for letting us go out to lunch again. Elgin Public House was another wonderful one that we did that. You can find all of that programming, all of those things at our YouTube site. That is youtube.com/@WRMN Radio. I wish we could have got to more things, man. There's just not enough time because Pierce Bronson was just charged $1,500 because he stepped off the trail at Yosemite.
Well, you can't do that.
They're talking about tapeworms found in a Florida man's brain.
I don't care which James you are. You can't do that.
You can't do it, James Bond or otherwise.
Yeah.
But lots and lots of stuff. Beware the Ides of March. I hope you all have a beautiful sunny day like we've got over here. Thanks for listening. Out to Lunch will be back next week on Monday starting at noon. But the programming here on WRMN starts at 6 in the morning with Marky B in the morning with the First Shifters. Coming in at 3, we will have The Deals with Matt McNeils. I don't think he has an S at the end of it. I'm trying to get it to rhyme. But
Pluralize,
WRMN, WRMN1410.com if you want to know more information. Stand by for Straight Talk Money. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Your hometown radio station since 1949. We are WRMN AM 1410, Elgin time, 2 o'clock.